everybody. Welcome to another fun episode of the 34 podcast, episode 23. We're here with Frank Jofo.
Here we go.
All right.
I've been waiting all day to do it.
I know.
I do it once a day, and I kept it for you guys this one year. So,
Nice. I know. So
Let's
just
do a
before
drinking game. Every time somebody says "Here we go," you take a shot.
Exactly. Just before we continue, to everybody who's in the chat, hello everybody from Just Sorrel, all the way from Australia. We got Jofo podcast. We got Los Tabernacos, and then we got a few people here on the Facebook. Hello everybody.
hello, everybody.
If you didn't subscribe to Jofo in the Ring and the Dirty Four, go ahead and do so. By the way, if you see these two old men in the top right corner, that's because Tuesday night is election night, and we're going to be on live 7:30 talking about the election, who we think is going to win.
Yeah.
So and also, hello Kyle. How are you, Kyle?
Hey, Kyle's in the chat.
Kyle.
Kyle's in the chat.
All right.
Here we go. What it is.
Sorry, what did you say, Joy?
I said now you're supposed to take 2 shots.
Ah, fuck.
We're gonna write them down. We're gonna write them down. You have to take them at a date the next time. Jofo podcast on Monday. You're gonna take them there.
Exactly.
That's the drinking podcast.
We're
Those
gonna
animals.
die.
All right, so save up the drinks, and then on Wednesday on Jofo in the Ring, you just drink it up.
There
Man.
you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
Wednesdays at 7:15, by the way. Join them. All right. So, Peter, take it. The floor is yours time, man.
Oh, Sakla, man. So, yeah, this knows what it is. We're just doing our thing. So, you're supposed to do the introductions. You
I did. Okay. You want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah, you said you were going to do introductions. What the fuck is this, man?
You know what, guys?
You're going to
Meanwhile-
dirty it up, man.
Okay, stop fighting. Let's just.
So, as you guys can see, I'm Claudio Capri. The impatient guy here is Joey LaFlamme. Victoria Blair, Salad Tossers. We got the awesome Peter Bowen. And also we got Melanie Azaf. And our special guest is, you guys could see, subscribe to the Jofo in the Ring. By the way, Jofo in the Ring, it's not Giovanni Onofrio Federico Orazio. It's just our fucking opinion. So if you guys get lost saying, what does Jofo stand for? It's just our fucking opinion, all right? So that's it. Kyle, I'm not taking off my shirt, goddammit. Not tonight. Not tonight.
Kyle,
So-
they have to get to 100 subscribers. They have to get to 100.
Depends.
Exactly.
Are we at 80 now?
No,
No, we're
not
71. We're 71. So like we're
We're
close
71.
enough. So
Maybe
we
for
can get to
Christmas.
80.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Special.
Nine guests later, we're going to like Claudio will have to.
Exactly.
I
I'm
would-
gonna
I
take
would-
off.
Maybe
I
if
would
you
be like
take
in the
off your
podcast
shirt.
being like,
Take off
all
your
right,
shirt,
get
you'll
to
get
work.
those extra subscribers, Claudio. You never know.
Shit,
No,
man.
exactly, man.
Or we'll get banned. One of the two.
One of the
will
two.
Hey, man.
happen. This is what
Hey, look,
it is.
if Jofo podcast hasn't got banned yet, you guys are okay. Don't worry
Oh,
about it.
no, that's very true.
yeah.
Exactly.
No, debauchery's okay. Debauchery's okay, but nudity is like,
Yeah,
exactly. You never know, man.
Yeah.
What it is.
Keza, no, I'm not taking. Can you stop? I'm not taking
Hey,
it
everybody
off,
wants
guys.
you to take that shirt off, Claudio.
I know.
don't know.
Okay, how's
Oh,
about
shit.
this? How's about this? Next time I go over to Jofo Hangout, and I might take off my shirt. I might take off my shirt. How about that?
Okay, so you're on next. You're on Monday. You're on
We got
tomorrow.
this on film. We got this.
You're on tomorrow,
That's
Claudio.
on the podcast.
Yeah, you're on tomorrow.
Actually, I check.
There it is.
God damn
Oh,
it!
Spice Girls. Oh, shit. Bring it back.
Oh my god.
Bring back the Spice Girls, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
the Spice Girls.
lady, you guys never returned it. You never returned it.
Oh, son of a
I
god,
don't think
man.
I'm
I'd
ready to
rather
return it at all, though.
at this.
The controversy begins.
Oh, shit. What's that? Britney Spears? What is that one? What is it? Oh,
That's the Spice Girls.
Oh, Spice Girls again. God damn.
Unauthorized biography. Wow.
Oh, what a
At this point,
guy, man.
At this point, I'd rather have them to keep it. Like I don't want it back anymore. Like I don't want to receive a fucking book with like page sticking up together.
Oh shit!
Too much.
Is that what it is, freaking Claudio? You put the jam. You put the jam between the pages. What was happening, man?
Okay, hold on,
Oh, man.
hold on. I have to explain the story. Okay, before we go on, I have to explain the story.
Explain.
So,
Explain
was
it,
it,
Claudio.
wait, was it the first time?
That's
It
a
was
great
the second
start when
time.
you have to, you are to explain yourself and like, yeah, let me explain the story. Like,
So it was the
No, we know
second
the
time.
We prepared for 2 hours of that explanation.
Hey, no, it was the second time. Was in March, right? You guys had me on in March. It was 2 weeks before my birthday. So
Yeah.
I go to the Jofo studio and I see the Spice Girls book on the table. I'm like, out of curiosity, I'm like, okay, let me see this. So I open it and it's all fucking sticky. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So then I put it on the table. But then
Get the fuck outta here.
I think
You went to the
I
bathroom
turned to
with it.
tracks. No, I turned to tracks or Teeks. I'm like, hey, whose Spice Girls book is this? Then one of them took the book and was, I guess it's yours now. But they kept joking. I'm like, if this is a birthday gift, it's the
got
most
caught.
dumbest fucking it's the most dumbest fucking birthday gift ever. So and then to this day, like they're all teasing me.
Claudio,
saying that-
I'm gonna tell you something. I was on the boat when you were on that episode when the book got brought out. And
Oh,
I'm
you were
gonna
there?
No. When the book came out, I wasn't here. I was on the boat. I remember this. And
Okay.
after the show, because I didn't because there's some things we talk about before and after the show, but I sat there and I'm like, is this Claudio's book for real? Like, I was so convinced that it was yours. I had to ask them, and they were telling me, no, it's Claudio's. I go, no, it's impossible. It's Claudio's. Why would he bring a Spice Girls book, sign
Exactly.
sign it, you know?
Signed it too.
So he signed it too, but then I go, that could be his writing. So then I got convinced. But then, like, I don't know what to believe anymore with these animals on Monday night over here.
Oh,
Sta animale, sta animale.
Isht animal, man. So,
Sta animale, palamarón. By the way, guys, before we continue, I'm looking at Facebook right now. We got Evlit, Alessandro DeLuca, Natalie Price. Then we have
everybody.
Joe Pilot from Lord William Pub, who just
Oh.
coming in. Hello, Joe.
Hello,
Hi,
Joe.
everybody. So that's it. Everyone's watching. We're gonna have a good
shit.
time. Don't forget to
good.
like, share, and subscribe to both the Jofo and Dirty Four. Also, Jofo in the ring. Okay, guys, they're all together. So calm down in case I forgot anyone out.
say, goddamn, man. So yeah, before we start out, how's everybody's week, man? How is everybody? We're gonna start with obviously Frank. We're gonna start with Frank. What's going down? How was your week, man?
Honestly, we're getting on track. Well, because with me on the boat, that's why I have to thank our producer and Selecta Brew.
Bruno. Shout out to Bruno.
And Kyle as well, because when I'm on the boat, things still have to keep going and everything. So they're behind the scenes, and Kyle's in studio as well. So we're all keeping the ship afloat. And
Literally.
and honestly, we have we just had Sexy Eddie 2 weeks ago. We had Joey Casada last week.
Yeah.
Two guys like Joey Casada to us is a pretty big deal, but then once I see like what I've been seeing is that once you get one big guest, the other ones just start following. And like I said, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, we're getting messages and can I come on your show? It's like it's coming full circle now to the point where I don't have to ask these people to come on my show anymore. As much as I would love them to be on my show, but they're reaching out to me, so it's very humbling and everything. And
That's awesome.
this Wednesday we have a guy that's his name is Danny Limelight, and he fights for United Wrestling Network and New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he was just featured on AEW Dark last Tuesday. And he's fighting on AEW Dark again on TV or on YouTube, but for the AEW company.
That's still good.
So yeah, he's a pretty big deal, and so like I said, then the next guest, we have another 3-4 guests that we have lined up, and they're just as big as him, and it's just the ball is rolling now, so we just got to keep the momentum going. And like I said, I couldn't do it without the team, Jofo in the ring, plus the boys at Jofo Podcast were supporting me as well, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Jofo Podcast, that's for sure. That's just where I started when I was doing Franks with Frank back in the day, So
yeah.
But
But that's the accumulation of all that work that you guys put in, man.
Exactly. Like like I said, we're all friends, we're all a big family, and we want to get to a certain point, and I think we're gonna get there one day. And as long as we keep doing what we're doing right now, or at the beginning, it's gonna be successful in the future. So yeah.
Oh shoot,
that's
respect,
it,
respect.
yeah.
Oh shit,
Absolutely, absolutely.
that's
You guys, you know what?
respect.
Yeah.
You know what? You guys are coming a long way, man. You guys are coming a long way. It's great.
Uh,
You know what?
Yeah.
It's like it's the hustle, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot, like you take it if you want to. Like honestly, like I have a great job, but I would love to do this for a living. But if I could do this as a part-time gig to say like, hey, I'm just sitting instead of watching TV or going through stupidities on Instagram and Facebook, I'm
course.
doing it for the brand. Like we're trying to build a brand here.
That's
and
it.
you know what I mean? So it's coming along, and honestly, like it's get on the train or get off, you know, kind of thing. So
Oh shit.
I jumped on at the perfect time with Jofo in the ring. We could have started it a couple of months before that, but we had to get everything in place, and you know, and like you guys, it's not easy to start a podcast too, right? So once you start doing it and you start seeing that you could do different things, now
Yeah.
we're experimenting, and now, like I said, like people are reaching out to us now. So it's very humbling to me, and it's like, wow, I'm like, okay, we're actually doing something that people like, so we're gonna keep doing it, and that's it, you know. So
Oh shoot, respect for that. Oh shit, goddamn. All right, I have to throw it down to the next one. We haven't seen her in a while. Part of the Dirty Four, Frig
Yes.
Victoria. What's
It's
going
me.
down?
The original Victoria.
The
You're-
original Victoria.
Wait.
No,
Not-
Mel.
not the
You're the original Mel.
replacement.
No, you're
Okay.
the Mel. Listen,
Thanks God for that. Like, thanks God there's only one
34.
Victoria. Two Victoria. I'll be like killing myself.
I'm agreeing with Joy. I'm agreeing with fucking Joy.
listen, Mel. It's the Dirty Four plus one, and then plus one more, man. So you're
There you
part
go.
of the Dirty Four.
I'm the part one.
Perfect.
Okay.
You're part of the Dirty Four. But Victoria, tell me, how's it been, man? How was the hiatus?
Jeez, the hiatus has been so boring, you guys. Like, I don't think you guys want to hear this. I've just been studying and just making a bunch of other podcasts. It's just a lot of work. A lot
Oh
of work.
shit, goddamn! Tell us about the podcast. What was it? Salad Tossers? What's going down?
Yeah, Salad Tossers, which is I'm not even allowed to put that title on Twitch. I don't understand.
Ooh.
It's a vegan podcast. It's not about eating ass, obviously.
What?
Oh god.
that's why you're not allowed. Really? Wow.
Oh, so
I
goddamn,
hear
man.
it.
Mga
And I
dyan,
hear
wala na buwan.
Yeah, and I fucking
Listen,
listen
they're
to
ruining
the
your
podcast,
vegan.
and I listen to the podcast. It's just like two chicks like talking about veganism on live and
Yeah.
saying stuff like, "Yeah, let's explain what a carnivore is," and then that's that for like 40 minutes.
And
you
then
cannot do-
sometimes like a MAGA guy comes on and tries to troll us. It's nice.
That is awesome.
what you have a MAGA guy trying
You
to
have a
troll
MAGA
you?
Yeah, it happened. Yeah. Or
What?
yeah. On Twitch, you get anyone on Twitch.
Oh, true. Okay,
Like last time,
but
I'm
I
sorry.
thought you could go on Twitch.
Why?
But I understood that you are not on Twitch because you can't go there for some
Oh, no,
reason.
Okay, she can't.
No, it's Twitter.
I
It's
got
Twitter.
banned from Twitch.
Twitter. Oh, you got okay. Twitter. What happened?
What the
on
fuck
Twitter?
did you do that you
I'm
got
not-
banned from
I'm
Twitch?
not
You got
banned anywhere, guys.
Not bad
Victoria,
anywhere.
nobody listens to you over here. Hey, this is what it seems like.
What is going? Can you hear
on
my
here?
mic? Like, what's
Yeah,
going on?
hear you.
hold on.
It's
before you
crunchy.
continue- Hold on, before you continue, I got banned from Blue Dog because I was on a podcast. You got banned from Twitch because you're doing a podcast. What the
I
fuck
didn't-
is going on?
I didn't get banned. I didn't get banned. Okay.
Wait. I remember I watched your interview with Andrew Cardazzi. Shout out to
Yeah.
Andrew Cardazzi. And then there was a guy that was asking you like how to have sex, and I was like,
Oh,
on
that was
Twitch.
amazing.
I was like,
That was
I was like,
amazing. I was having an interview on Victoria Shoots the Breeze. This guy just comes on. He's like, "Is this the right forum to ask about sex?" And we were like, "Sure." And he's like, "I've never had sex before. I'm
Oh
worried
my
about
God.
the vagina water."
Hey, there's people
Is it
like that.
done?"
Vagina water. That was it. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I was like, God.
That's awesome. You spend your afternoon, no, it's morning. You spend your morning on Twitch watching stuff, and then you see Victoria and Andrew Cardazzi, and you're like, yeah, maybe they might know a couple of things about sex. Let's ask them.
Maybe it's into the tracks or teaks. Like they went on a different account and he asked those questions. Claudio, oh, you know what? Claudio, go to the Douglas. You know what, Armando? Come with me, cocksucker. You come with me. We'll go together.
You get a free toaster, huh? If you go,
Yeah,
huh? If you bring
please,
somebody.
go
I know.
Oh
I
shit,
know.
God
Yeah,
damn.
you do.
Please.
You actually do. You get,
You get
free
rain.
tofu.
You get winter boots in the summer, man. It's okay, man.
Hey man, if you need those winter boots, man, those are the time that's the time to do it. Oh man.
This is the dirty four for you. Somebody getting banned and not getting banned on the same time, and an angry Italian guy yelling on the chat.
Exactly.
Oh
Exactly.
shit! I'm getting that
Right on
internet.
schedule.
I'm getting that internet. I'm getting that internet cable this week, man. This is ridiculous. But yeah, freaking. So yeah, it's what it is, man. All right. Good job, Victoria. That's
Yeah, good
what
job,
it is.
Victoria.
And Mel, how was your week? How was
Yes.
it? How was the Dine and Dash? Or what's your podcast called? The podcast?
The Virtual Dine-In podcast.
The Virtual Dine-In
Virtual Dine-In
Podcast.
podcast.
What's
It's going
going
fairly
down?
well. It's going fairly well. Last week I had David Vigliotti from Fatal Switch, and quite a few people turned in. It was one of the most hilarious things I ever done in my life because it was just such a mess.
Yeah.
Whose TV is on in the background?
Actually, I have a roommate that's kind of deaf, so they're really loud sometimes. They might be
Oh.
me.
Can you tell them to shut
That's
up?
why we
but-
need a studio. That's why we need a studio.
Hey, fermez-vous, il y a le set, calice.
Sac la bleu.
Oh man, this is good. Yeah. So
That's
Simone,
great to hear. And then Joey and Claudio, man. We got to put it
Joy,
because we were done.
go first, Joy. Go first.
My week was pretty boring. I worked and then I did Halloween stuff, which is nothing to alleviate the boredom. Yesterday podcast was not that great.
I know.
Oh wow.
We need to better prepare.
No. That was 2 hours of, hey, have you watched that movie? Yeah. That's a cool movie, right? Next movie.
All right, bro. That movie was
and at
fucking
some
awesome.
like
At
caught
some
it near
point,
the
somebody
end,
thought
though.
that would be a great idea to bring his guitar and start playing over everybody talking.
Oh, yeah.
Because that podcast was already not going anywhere.
Here we go.
All you needed is somebody showing up
No. Take that guitar out of here, you bastard.
Without the beard, it's him.
Oh, get the fuck out.
Get out of our podcast.
here.
Get out of here.
Sac la belle.
The bots, get out of here.
Free toasters, everybody.
Free toasters, everybody.
All right. Oh man.
Oh, shit.
Oh man.
So, Claudio, you're the last to go. What's happening?
Oh,
man?
well, actually, I've been talking with Lonely Path Films. Shout out to Lonely Path Films. We have got a couple of sketches coming up, and we're working on a short film. It's gonna be called Churchill.
Nice.
So, so the date for that we don't know yet. We still, we have to wait till the pandemic is lifted so we could start, going to a location. And hopefully we're gonna submit that to the film festival. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I did a sketch with Peter Bowen and Ben Cardilli, Mike Gamache, and Only Path Films. I'm working on a sequel to that, Not Funny 2. And
That was funny. I like
Did
that.
Peter get asked to come in too on that one, or?
Well, no, Peter was in the first one.
Yeah,
but
that's
now,
it.
But now I officially I wrote the script. We just gotta wait for again the pandemic to lift, so we can have locations. But Peter, we're doing Not Funny too, so you're gonna be in it. Okay? God
Oh,
bless
that's
you.
okay.
Hilarious, man.
We'll
That was
do it in
hilarious.
we'll do it in the high schools. It's okay. It's safe. It's safe.
We'll do it on the highways. The exterior shots are gonna be on the highways. Oh man.
Oh my gosh. So before we get into the wrestling talk, guys, just two things. An asteroid bigger than St. Paul Cathedral is going to collide with Earth next week.
Woo! Yes.
Because 2020 wasn't shit wasn't shit enough.
Run up those
Yeah.
credit cards.
As of 2020 wasn't shit enough.
Yeah, exactly. Like now you talk about the meteorite, it's like David playing guitar at yesterday podcast. Like it wasn't something more.
I guess that's going to be an unforgettable episode because that's all he's been talking about so far.
Oh, he
my
loves
God.
it. He loved that guitar, man.
Oh,
He's
man,
shit.
I was lo-
Acoustics,
to be
it was
honest,
amazing.
I was losing my shit.
I know. I saw your face there. And it's like, what the hell's going on over here? Oh, man.
Son
I
of a-
actually
what happened.
managed to see that near the end, though. I actually managed to see that near the end. I was like drunk as hell.
That's what happens when you do lives. You never know what could happen. You never know what could happen.
You never know,
You
man.
never know.
Exactly.
Frank, if you have the idea to start a clarinet solo, don't.
No. I'm not a singer. I'm none of that. I'm none of that. You don't have to worry about me on that. Unless Tico comes in with the guitar, but I'm gonna make sure he does it. Don't worry.
Get out of here.
Oh, you mean the broken guitar? Oh, you mean the broken guitar?
All of a sudden, Tico plays guitar now. All of a sudden, I don't know. So we'll see.
My boy Tico Leak, man. DJ Tico Leak, man. He's doing his thing, man. Oh, son of a bitch, man. So, all right, let's get it started. So, Frank, man, you're the special guest. You're the special one tonight, man. What got you?
Yes, yeah.
What got you into wrestling? What got you into the whole, phenomenon?
I gotta say, maybe when I was a kid, was the times where we had. Remember, it was like the pay-per-views, but like not everyone had like the pay-per-view box.
Yeah.
So my dad used to go to the bar. Used to go to AJ's. I'm sure you guys have been there before.
Yeah.
And where we had Jofo Jam, and he used to bring me there it was on Sunday nights, and he used to have coffee, play cards with his friends. So I knew. Well, used to watch it on Saturday morning. So I'm like, okay, Pa, can I come watch the pay-per-view? And at that time, because everyone had the illegal boxes at the time, you didn't have to pay for it, so it would just be on. So I'd be there and I'd be watching it, and I remember I think it was the first one I ever watched was a Royal Rumble, and I instantly got hooked. If you're gonna watch a wrestling event, the first one to get hooked, a Royal Rumble is the best one because there's so much happening in a Royal Rumble, and so after that, and all my friends at school were wrestling fanatics as well, so it helped as well on that too. But just getting into the wrestling, then I always wanted to be a wrestler. Like everybody, I want to be a wrestler. I want to be so. Tell my dad, buy me this, get me that. My poor father had to buy me the cassettes, the figurines, the T-shirts, bring me to an event. And honestly, thank God for my father. Or else you know what, Joe Fullery probably wouldn't be in existence right now. So I gotta thank my father for that. But then when I got to high school, I got a little older and a little bit more wiser, and I'm like, wow, maybe I could pull off an event here. So I wanted to make money off it, but the thing was, I was in Sec 5, so they're like, Dominic, Frank, you can't make.
Okay, Dominic.
The cat's out of the bag. The cat's out of the bag. So,
You look like a Dominic. Just saying.
okay, so I might as well come out with it. My actual real name is Dominic. It's not Frank. So.
I knew it. I knew it.
Oh, that's what it is.
It's a wrestling character. It's a wrestling character. So the cat's out of the bag. Anywho. So
Okay, Dominic.
So it's
Don't call
Domenico.
him by his government.
It's Domenico, by the way. Anyways.
Domenico.
Oh, whatever.
So I'm in high school, and they told me I couldn't make money off it. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm graduating at Sec 5. So I'm going to donate the money to the graduating class, which was my class. So since I wasn't making any money off it, and I wanted the most amount of people to come, I charged 50 cents a ticket, and it was after school. So I made more or less scheduled it that my last class was in the gym, and I literally jotted down a ring with all the stuff in the gym, mats, the tennis poles with the nets and everything as ropes. You couldn't go off them, but at least it mimicked the look of a ring, right?
Yeah.
So in the end, and this is the God's honest truth, we had 350 kids that stayed after school for an hour and told their parents there's going to be a wrestling event at LaSalle Catholic. I have to be there. And that whole week, people were like, they're like, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Look, you just have to come and watch, And honestly, it was a 25-man Royal Rumble that we did. We had the real wrestling names of the wrestling of the guys, and we had the music. We had the buzzer. Every 2 minutes, somebody came in. There was a match between myself and the Big Show, Danny Malazzi.
Oh, you're right.
The winner was got into the Royal Rumble number 25 or 30, and the loser had to go in number 1. He eventually ended up winning the Royal Rumble. He was a big guy, so he was throwing everybody over the top rope. But in the end, everyone's like, oh, you know what? We made money for the school, and I gave something back to the school, and I did something for myself. And I'm like, wow, maybe I should do this again. So I tried it again. And then I go, I have to get a wrestling ring now because no one's gonna come and watch me wrestle in a gymnasium mats and all these little skeet and scat kind of things. You know, it's like you're paying. I want to charge $5-10 a ticket now. I can't charge 50 cents because then I'm gonna have to pull out of my pocket, right?
You're right.
So the next event I had was actually right next door to AJ's, the Polish Hall. I don't know if you guys know that. Right next door to AJ's. So I scheduled it, and the guy was supposed to come with the ring from Three Rivers, and there was a snowstorm that day, so he had to cancel. So I had good ties with the school, so I went back to the school. I asked for the stuff back again to do the ring. I ended up losing money on that event. So now I said, I have to get this freaking ring. Did another event. I charged $10-15. I made sure the ring was there 5, 6, 7 hours before the ring came. And I'm telling you, when this ring came, and I could probably go down in history in LaSalle for the first person to bring a wrestling ring to LaSalle Catholic. And everyone tells me, when are you going to get this ring again? Cool. This ring showed up, and I'm telling you, the people flocked from out of nowhere, from around the corner, from the roof. They were jumping off the roof. I got to get in this ring. Because people, you've never seen it. You've never been in a ring before. And it's like, okay, let me do this move on you. I got to do this. I got to do that. It's like, I made people's dreams come true. And they're like, Dom, you literally did that for me. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay, great. I wanted to do it again, but then copywriting things I was using Undertaker, Stone Cold and stuff. So we had to come up with our own names. Yeah. We got a little bit older. Nobody wanted to do it anymore. So I just stopped. But I kept on watching wrestling. It's been at least 25 years I've been watching wrestling, and to this day and every day. So now it's turned into my life now. So I have no choice. So that's it. So.
Here's the thing. What you should have done was you should have done the Japanese wrestling in LaSalle. So like when you had like barbed wire with flames on the ring.
But you know what? The thing was, the third event, I was going crazy with I forget if I don't think there was any social media. Like if this was like 2001, 2002.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Facebook was invented. Maybe
that was MySpace.
I didn't have MySpace. So
wasn't as popular though.
It was just word of mouth, and I made flyers, and I would go to school, put them out, and I had friends in each school, and okay, take care of this, take care of that. So then people were coming up to me and like, "Can I be in this event?" And I'm like, "Okay, I don't want anybody to be like I have a set." Card for the event, my guys that I know I could trust, because in the end, these guys get hurt. I mean, I'm liable for this, right? So I could get sued, and these guys are my friends. But let's say one guy, God forbid, breaks his neck or breaks his leg. His father's going to be coming to my door and, what's going on here? My son's in a wheelchair because he fought in this stupid event for what, $5, $10? I wasn't paying these guys too, right? Like, you know what I mean?
Can you just imagine? Can you just imagine? It's like some Italian father comes to your door. Oh, like a cat.
Wait, and I even had my brother in the event too, so I was like a bit scared too, and to the point where then after the fifth or sixth group of guys that came up to me, a group of guys come up to him, and they were older than me. I noticed they were older than me, and they're like, and they came up to me like they were like selling something. Like I'll never forget, because the guy came up to me, he goes, "I have the script down. We're independent wrestlers." I'm like, "Okay, who are you? Like anyone could tell me this, right?"
Yeah,
he told me, "Come see, come sell," whatever his name was, and I forget his name, but he told me the whole thing he wanted to do. I'm like, okay, I cannot say no to this guy, because this is an extra match plus he graduated from LaSalle Catholic 4 or 5 years ago, so he wanted to give back to the school and that, because I did it at LaSalle Catholic again because it's a bigger venue, and I filled up the place. I had 300 chairs set up. They were all taken, people standing around in the back and everything. But these guys did they didn't tell me they were doing a hardcore match. They brought in tables, chairs, and they went to literally Canadian Tire, got the carrosse, and they put everything inside. And so I'm like, oh, what the hell is going on over here? Because the guy told me, he goes, "I don't want any ladders, any tables in the ring. On the outside, no problem, because you don't want to rip the material in the ring. Then I don't have to pay for the damages."
Yeah.
So I knew none of the matches I made were hardcore ones, so I said I was okay. But then these guys, they came out with the carros, and they had a ladder, they had trash cans, baking sheets, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? One of them started bleeding. I go, I'm
Perfect.
cooked. I'm
Perfect.
cooked. There was
Perfect.
blood in the ring, and I'm like, okay. I told the guy, so I gave him the. It ended up costing me, and it was crazy, and I'll probably never get this price now. 20 years later, it cost me $500 to rent that ring, which is not that bad. I don't know how
Wait
much
a
they
minute,
cost
wait a
now.
minute.
It's really actually. If I could get a ring for $500, I'll set up a one on my street right now next week. You know what I mean? That's how good of a price it is. But
Frank, as far as it goes, it's supposed to be amateur, right?
what's that? Sorry.
Like
As
amateur,
far as your
amateur.
events, they were pretty amateur, right?
Yeah.
They were
It's
still
all
blading
it's all
stuff?
scripted, right? But it's to the point where
but they were
these
blading,
guys did a match. It was amongst themselves. So basically, they set up their own match. It had nothing to do with what I told them. Look, I go, you have it all written down and everything. You're what's gonna happen in the match, who's gonna win, who's gonna lose, what's gonna happen. So I go, look, my job is done, and I go, I know you guys are more prepared than you guys are actual wrestlers. Us, we're trying to pretend to be wrestlers, you know. So it's me and my friends are living out our dream, wrestling in a ring and you know in front of a crowd. But these guys had it down packed. They're great wrestlers, but they put on a show like you would see at the Medley or Club Soda and pay $20-$25 for it, you know what I mean? But I go, guys, I'm not paying you. Because no, I just want to be a part of it. And I'm like, okay, no problem, great. So these guys, they cut themselves and everything. So when I had to pay the guy at the end, I'm like, how much is it gonna cost to fix the blood? He goes, honestly, he goes for someone that's never put on a big event like this, he goes, it was a great event and you guys should do it again and I'll rent you the ring again. He goes, I'm not gonna charge you. I said, oh my God, thanks.
Holy shit.
Thank God.
Oh, shit.
At least it would have cost me another $100. I
Fucking
was in 2001, 2002, I just turned 18 years old.
Yeah.
18 years old, yeah. So
God damn, man.
just to say, like I'm not. I wasn't going. I didn't have pockets full of money. The money I made for the event, I brought everyone out for supper and drinks and this and that. You know what I mean? I made a couple $100 just to say that I accomplished something. But other than that, I didn't have money to pay for that. Fucking, so I was actually pretty happy about it.
It's still cool because like I always knew that there's always like secret spots. Like I never knew there was like wrestling in LaSalle Catholic. I remember there was in Dorval, there was like mud wrestling. There was like these girls, like, and it, like they had a card up, and it's just like,
well, girls mud wrestling. It speaks for itself, right there. It's
no, it speaks for itself. I just never knew they just did it. You know, what I mean, I was just like, oh shoot, like it's cool.
I was trying to make something out of it. Like I made like a website, like a rinky dinky stupid like free website with my. I told my friends one day, when you come to the school, come in your wrestling attire. I took a picture of them. I put it on the website. You know, like stupid shit like that. I was trying to make it what I was doing now. I was doing back then, but then I stopped. I didn't have the resources to do it. Right, I was doing it all by myself. Now I have a guy like Selecta Brew, and now Selecta Brew calls himself Le Pod the God.
The pod god.
Every time you consider Le Pod the God.
What was that?
Oh,
The pod god.
It's his wrestling name. It's a wrestling name. It's a wrestling persona. So
I'm down. I'm down with it. I'm down with it, man. Shoot, man. This is what it is, man. Oh,
yeah.
God.
So the journey's there, but it's just, you know what? It's never over, right? Like, and then the best part was they go, now I got the ring. I did the event. Now what? Now my next step is if I get the ring again, now people are going to come. We're not real wrestlers. We're entertaining. We're making people laugh. You know, it's not like you're not paying $25, $30 to go see a wrestling event like IWS is another big deal. But us, we were just because of our friends. So now I go, the next thing I have to do is I have to get an actual wrestler. And at that time, you were able to book these wrestlers if they were not in WWE, because WWE, you're not allowed to have them on your independent
on the house shows. Oh,
so you have to have them. The ones that are not on WWE, it's the same thing now. So the first person I got in touch with by email was Buff Bagwell, Marcus Bagwell.
Oh, word! That's back at.
So I'm emailing back and forth, and I'm like, okay. And then I'm skeptic. I'm like, maybe it's him, maybe it's not. So I go, okay, look, I leave my number. Call me and we'll fix it up by phone because I want to talk to these guys. It could be anybody. It could have been 8 to the tracks on the other side. I don't know who it could have been.
just so I remember, basically, Buff Bagwell is the guy that looks like a porn actor from a gay porn.
Yes, his name is Marcus Bagwell, and it's Buff Bagwell, Buff the Stuff. And he used to come out with the big top hat. and he was actually a pretty good. And at that time, he was a pretty known wrestler. So the numbers made sense for me. I had to pay his flight and his room and board, and then I had to pay him a couple extra $100 just for the event. So I was calculating how much I had to make in the event to pay this guy off. But I knew that if I got a name wrestler, I would be able to sell tickets, right?
Yeah.
So, but I still didn't know if this guy was the real deal. So one day out of the blue, I'm not home. My brother's home with his friend. My brother's in the shower and his friend's downstairs, and the phone rings. So my brother goes, "Yeah, pick it up." His friend picks it up. "Hey, is Dominic there?" I'm like, he's like, "No." He's like, "Can I take a message?" He's like, "Oh, this is Marcus Bagwell replying with a message for his wrestling event." My friend, he dropped the phone. He couldn't believe it because I've been telling these people the story about I'm gonna get Marcus Bagwell, but nobody believed me. Nobody believed me. So at this point, he's like, "Oh my God!" He's like, "This guy actually." Wicked. So then, whatever things happened, I had to. I was at Dawson, and things were happening with school and stuff. So it kind of fell apart, the wrestling thing. But like I said, I still kept on watching it. But that was my last event that I did. But I would love to do another event, but probably the next event we're gonna do is probably when we do Jofo Jam 2. Next summer, and we have a guy that's gonna get us a ring, and we're gonna do a big event. We're gonna get some guys from AEW and the past WCW days, and there's gonna be some surprises. There's gonna be some big names.
Okay, can I be an amateur and take on Claudio?
I was thinking you could even be a referee if you really want to.
Oh, I'm fucking I'm in, man. All right. And then we'll have Mel and Victoria like fight it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we need the person for the ring, ring the bell. We need an announcer. We need a referee.
Hey, Barry, who could ring the bell? Poseidon could ring the bell. And then Guido's gonna be like, "Oh my God!" Guido's gonna be like, "Hey, did you know back in 1972?" Like, "Bro, what are you doing? I'm money on you." Let me tell you something. And then we can have Massimo. Massimo, all you have to do is just choke the living shit out of
what's
Peter.
going on with Massimo? I've seen what he's doing. MEW Wrestling. Do you see what he's doing there on Is it on Instagram? I never heard of them before. So is he doing like a comedy kind of thing, or is it for real? He's doing this wrestling thing. Because if I would have known, I would have asked him to participate with us in a couple of episodes.
I'll be honest with you. I haven't. The last time I saw Massimo's was when we worked on Night Shift together.
Okay. He's great, man. He's great. He's hilarious. He's from LaSalle, eh? He's from LaSalle too, and I owe
him that comedy stuff, man.
He's amazing, man. He's amazing.
Actually, I don't know if you tuned in last Sunday for Santi Espinoza, how I got the part for Night Shift. So to those of you who already listened to this, too bad. Just give me a moment. So I did a show with Massimo, and I did a joke with him, like, "Hey, Massimo, make sure you don't get stabbed by Wolverine." He goes, "Fuck." He goes, "I'm gonna choke you one day, cocksucker." So then we get on Night Shift, right? And I play the goon who gets killed by Massimo, but he's choking the fuck out of me. So at one point, Massimo has his hands around my neck, but I keep laughing. He goes, "But bro, this is a serious scene. I'm supposed to whack you, right?" But then even the director, from Loading Path Films, like, "Bro, Claudio, stop laughing." I'm like, "I can't stop laughing because this asshole for a year told me that he's gonna choke the fuck out of me, and now he's doing it." So I'm on the floor covered in blood because there had to be a part where they had to film from like a long, like a long take, like a long angle, right? Because close-ups, it took us like an hour and a half because I couldn't stop, and I was covered in blood. At one point, like, ha 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 ha, and I'm trying to breathe, and Massimo's like, and Massimo's, "Fucking die, you cocksucker!"
At some point, was he really strangling you because he wanted to move the fuck along with the
No. He didn't try like that, but he did like, "Bro, hurry up, we got other things to do." Meanwhile, I'm like,
and then,
he was in Bad Blood. He was in Bad Blood, Massimo, right?
He was.
In the scene that he's in, young Vito is played by 8-to-the-Track's cousin, Gianpaolo Vignulla.
Honestly, Bad Blood, that scene was the best part of the whole series.
Crazy, man. But that's like what you call it. You know what? You have to keep doing these little parts, and you know what? One day that person's gonna say, "Hey, who is that guy over there?" That's how you're gonna make your break. And you know what? You have to keep on doing, because if you don't, It's like independent wrestling. I tell all these independent wrestlers, if you sit on your ass with your hands in your pockets during a pandemic, what's going to happen to you? Nobody's going to come up to you and say, hey, do you want to be on my podcast? Or do you want to do? No, you have to be out there. You have to be on social media. You have to put yourself out there. So, you know what, Claudio? I hope to see you on Disney feature soon.
Shit, man.
Don't forget about us little people here, right?
Listen.
We want to see you getting choked on Disney, man. That's what we want to see. Man.
Look, I was in clouds.
I'm all for that.
like funny story. Someone mentioned me, hey, remember this movie? And I'm like, oh shit. And then I see the logo Disney Plus. I'm like, oh fuck, I was in a Disney movie.
You didn't even know.
I didn't even know because Warner Brothers. Because Warner Brothers and Summit Entertainment was supposed to be in theaters. So I didn't see the movie. So I told people, listen, I was in this movie. I worked 15 hours in this fucking movie. And then
don't worry, you're going to work for Warner Brothers. You're working for Warner Brothers.
I better be in that movie. And then I told people they're like, oh, what part, what number do you appear in? I'm like, I don't even know what number. All I know is that it's the scene. So clouds.
Okay, so you know what? I got something to watch then. I'm gonna watch it. So you're in a. I'm gonna be able to see you in one of these.
I don't know. I have no idea because the
cameras
were passing me really quickly.
Okay.
So a little bit about that. So I play a guy selling random artifacts in old Montreal. So
obviously it was filmed in Montreal. Okay.
Yeah. So I had a leather jacket like this, and I had I had a cigarette, and it was holding a picture of Mother.
Don't tell me the movie. You're gonna spoil it for me now.
No, hold on. But I didn't know. Hold on. It gets better. I didn't even know it was the main character because I know Nev Campbell from Scream, like she was in the movie, but
really?
I met her face to face. But at one point, the director's like, just say something funny, tell them hey, come and get buy this artifact. So I went to the main stars. I'm like, oh, come on, buy this. You over here. And then
that's such a Claudio move.
Such a good salesman. Good.
But he's like, hey, but can you be calmer? I'm like, oh,
you calmer? Out of all the requests.
The flowers, bro. Here's the clouds. Get them.
At least he upgraded from choking.
Oh man, I want to say, you know what? I'm curious to see how that movie is. But anyway, back to you, Frank. You never know. But my question to you is, how do you start, in wrestling? How do you get yourself, known as a wrestler? Where do you start off in case
you know what? It's people and like I said, but before, if you just sit on your hands and don't do nothing, you have to get out there. Like I said, social media now like I said, in 2001, I was going school to school with photocopies of the poster that I wanted to do, right? So just to say, now I could screenshot it. I could put it up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I could go on Reddit. I could go on Twitch. I could go on, all these social media platforms, and you could do it from the comfort of your own couch. You know what I mean? So, so it's a different world, and we have to take advantage of it. And a lot of wrestlers, that's how they make their name. And like a company like AEW, we're pushing people and we're helping people, and they go on, and a lot of people just focus on Twitter. And they say, okay, who's trending now? Who people talking about? And sometimes, lo and behold, that guy that we've been talking about will be on AEW Dark the week after, because they want people that have a trend. They have a YouTube presence. They have a Twitter presence. Yeah. So it's all about the hustle you put into it. And it's like everything in life, right? If you don't do nothing, nothing's gonna come to you, right? So you have to put yourself out there. And you have to, and a lot of wrestlers, like the guy Sexy Eddie wrestled in Thailand. He wrestled in Japan, China, Montreal, everywhere around the States. So once he did, and honestly, I always go back to the episode when Ralph Sutton was on Jofo podcast when he said, you're only one viral clip away from going viral. That's only takes one time. And one clip video from Sexy Eddie when he busted his artery on his arm, and he had his arm like this, and he squeezed his arm, and the blood was squirting, and he was was swallowing the blood. He was drinking the blood.
That's
Oh,
upsetting.
what the
Everybody that saw that, they're like, "I want this guy on my event." So he was
that from
getting emails.
Was that from sorry to interrupt. Was that from CCW?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't.
Buddy showed me that years ago.
I don't forget who he fought, but after that, it was like okay. Now I get to choose where I want to go. People are okay. I'm going to pay you X amount. I'm going to pay you even more. Okay, I'm going to go here now. I'm going to make more money here. You're going to pay for my travel. Okay, I'm going to go here. You know, so it's all about that. So you just have to keep grinding, and then eventually the body gives up too, right? Like he told me too. It's like you can only do so much. Like everyone says you have 9 lives. He goes, yeah, I've passed 10. 11, 12. So
Absolutely.
But then you have to the WWE guys. That's why they make all kinds of money and then they retire early because their bodies can't take it anymore. It's not even for the money anymore because when you get into it, you have that passion for wrestling, right? So it's the money's not important. You're gonna make money along the way in big corporations like that. But
the WWE nuts, man. They have to. Some people have to wrestle like 3 to 4 times a week. It's fucking nuts.
Nowadays, because of COVID, there's no live events. So now they're only doing Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Before they were doing Monday Night Raw, and then there would be the SmackDown team that would be doing a live show on Monday somewhere else.
Oh shit!
And then back and forth, like you'd be on the road and like let's say in a month, 30 days, you'd be on the road for 25 days.
Oh wow!
You're never home. So then what happens was a lot of these wrestlers they hook up with the other wrestlers. So basically their girlfriend is in the same company as them. So it's not like because all of them are getting divorced and what I saw. And then so I might as well my next girlfriend's going to be the wrestler that just wrestled now. So at least I'm with her and I could share a car with her or I could talk to somebody and and it's tough. It is a tough business to be in, but like I said, the money is very important as well. But you have to have the passion as well. So
exactly. And also trusting also because you put yourself in such a dangerous position where you have to trust absolutely the guy that's doing that maneuver
that's another
on
thing.
you.
And
and Randy Orton said you have to put your life and your wealth in the hand of somebody that might want your spot. So broke some things by accident, let's say, and it's like, I have your spot.
Like Peter, you know Edge's right? Edge just came back. So he just
with the neck injury,
So he just came back from like an 8 or 9, 10-year hiatus, right?
Yeah.
The only person he's fought is Randy Orton. A lot of people are like, oh, why doesn't he fight this guy? Why doesn't he fight that guy? Because in the end, a guy that has been off wrestling for 10 years and I have a serious neck injury. He could have been paralyzed, the poor guy. I'm going to come back. Okay, and now he's not doing it for the money, that's for sure. He's coming back because he wants to give back to the fans. So now, who am I going to fight? Who do I trust the most? And believe it or not, a lot of people say Randy Orton is the one to trust to the fullest because when you're in that ring, you have to trust that other guy or else forget it. You're gonna end up in a wheelchair. You never know. You just never know.
Does that happen really? Like, is there like accidents?
Unfortunately, I don't know if you ever heard of Owen Hart. Look into Owen Hart and the poor guy. He fell off a scaffold from the top of the rafters, and unfortunately, he died. So.
On pay-per-view,
He was supposed to do a stunt because he was called the Blue Blazer, and he was supposed to come in like he was flying into the ring, and he's done it many times. And this is one time the harness snapped, and he fell headfirst into the ring, and a live pay-per-view, pay-per-view. Yeah. So they didn't know what to do. Like So he didn't die instantly, but they took him off on the stretcher. They kept on doing the pay-per-view, and that's what a lot of people are really pissed off about because, the guy died, and you kept on going with the pay-per-view. It's like, but we didn't know, you just don't know, right? And so his legacy is, and he was a great wrestler as well, and he died young. But just to say anything can happen.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, man.
Even when Owen Hart paralyzed Austin, like he did
exactly. Yeah, Draws as well. In the chat here, we have somebody that says Draws as well. Steve Austin he broke Steve Austin's neck. Steve Austin was supposed to win that match. He
Yeah.
couldn't.
He
He could
wanted.
barely roll him up.
Yeah.
To pin him 1, 2, 3 was the most.
Yeah.
It was the most disgustingest pin I've ever seen in my life. But you didn't at that
broke his
time. Yeah, he broke his neck. At that time, you didn't understand what was going on. Now with
Yeah.
social media, I think it takes away from the excitement of wrestling now, because back in the day, and you can even ask Bruno as well. We used to watch Monday Night Raw, and at that time we were kids. We weren't allowed to go on the phone at 11 o'clock calling our friends. We had school the next day,
Yeah.
so. I had to wait. I literally had to wait like this. I'm like, I can't wait to go to school and talk to my friends about this. I can't wait. So I get to school, I run in, and you're talking to 25, 30 guys about what happened. And that was our social media, you know? And so nowadays, you don't even have to watch it. You just go on Twitter, you go on Instagram, you scroll, okay, this guy won. And it takes away from the excitement, you know? So that's why I try to not look at social media on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, so I don't spoil it for myself. But that's just me, you know. But a lot of people do that, so you don't want to watch a 3-hour event too, as well. So
Someone said shame on Vince. Why?
Oh, because Owen Hart.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Frank. You got it. Yeah,
the Owen Hart thing with Vince, because a lot now Bret Hart, when he left, there was a lot of like animosity between them and the Hart family, and everybody wanted Owen Hart to come in the Hall of Fame, but it was his wife that didn't want him to associate Owen Hart's name with WWE because of what happened. Because there was that whole documentary that they had. If you really want to look into it, it's a great documentary on Vice, Dark Side of the Ring, and they did a thing on Owen Hart and his wife. And we never knew this until this documentary came out, that it was his wife that was holding his name back for the WWE, because WWE never came out with DVDs of Owen Hart, T-shirts. Nothing. Zero. Never talked about him at all. Bret Hart wanted to, but he was kind of handcuffed because his wife had all the rights to Owen Hart, right? So it's sad. It's sad because when people say wrestling is fake, you know, like when someone hits like you know, when you hit somebody, that's fake. But when you're doing a 360 off the top rope or onto the outside onto a table, or you're getting thrown off a cell like Mankind did years ago, Peter. I'm sure you remember that. When Mankind got thrown
Shawn
off.
Michaels. Shawn Michaels did it first.
You know?
Shawn Michaels.
Oh my God! You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing fake about that, man. Like, that's why you have to be in shape. You know, you have to be in shape. And I remember when I did my event, I wrestled in that event, and I had bruises on my back of the ropes for a week and a half. So you can just imagine from the ropes, just going off the ropes, because my body's not used to going off wrestling ropes.
Thing.
You know?
They do that all the time.
But
like,
that's what I'm saying. But look at the size of these guys, Victoria. Though they're savages. They're you know, maybe some of them are on steroids. Maybe not as much now as there was before. But now there's more of a protocol in that. But these guys are in shape. Like, these guys are 24/7 in the gym. They're not like us, you know, roaming around and you know. So.
I went to a wrestling match one. It was Randy Orton was there, and it was crazy to me to see how different he looked from a regular human being. It was just like a bull walking on his hind legs. Like, it didn't even it didn't even make sense. He looks like a titan.
He's tall. I think he's 6'3", 6'4", 220.
But he's like
savage. Crazy, man. It's crazy.
What I love about Randy Orton is, especially, and you know what, I haven't been following wrestling, it's been years, but I listen to a lot of their theme songs, and Randy Orton's theme song to me stands out because it's so great, because he has that theme song. What is it? It's called "I Hear Voices in My Head." And so I'm like, every time I hear it, and I see Randy walking, I'm like, oh shit! And then Batista comes second, but Randy Orton's theme song, and just seeing him fight, I'm like, oh fuck! Like this guy.
These guys are on top of the world. They're heroes to all these kids. It's like a guy like John Cena. He's done the most Make-A-Wish Foundation wishes for sick kids in the world. A wrestler, you know what I mean? That guy's you know what I mean? Like, he's a great guy. He gets booed, but he's honestly a good guy. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Yeah, and then what I love about
a face, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be a good guy, right? A face.
This is the thing in wrestling now, is that a lot. The thing is that's why a lot of people hate Vince McMahon, because if Vince McMahon wants a John Cena, to be the top guy in wrestling, he's gonna shove him down everybody's throat. He's gonna
Yeah.
put him on TV the most.
okay,
He's gonna do as much as he can to manipulate you guys to think that I want this guy to be the number one guy. So the fans nowadays are a lot smarter than the ones back in the day. So if they understand that, hey, I don't want to see this guy. I want to see an actual wrestler like a Cesaro or a Sami Zayn or a Kevin Owens. And these guys are all from Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are from Montreal. And great wrestlers, but they're not forced down our throat. They're going to boo that guy. That's why they boo Roman Reigns back in the day. That's why they booed John Cena. They used to boo The Rock back in the day until he fought Hogan at WrestleMania, and Hulk Hogan put him over and then Hulk Hogan went into the distance. He wasn't as big as Hulk Hogan was after that. But then it's The Rock's turn because it's like passing the torch because you can't be on top of the world for your whole career. It's impossible.
Yeah,
you can't be greedy as well too.
But wrestling is kind of weird because you kind of see that those old wrestlers beating up like younger wrestlers, but when you compare it to other sports like MMA or anything, you don't see that. You see younger people beating up old people, so you can say, old wrestlers are always overpowered for some reason.
The thing is nowadays when WWE brings back a Goldberg or they bring back one of those big names, it's a money thing.
Oh yeah,
basically like a Royal Rumble is your one of the 4 big events. So you want to make as much money and much eyes on that product. And it doesn't mean that a guy like Kevin Owens can generate money, but a guy like Goldberg will bring those people back that are not watching now to watch and put more money in Vince McMahon's pocket. Not like he's broke or anything. He's worth $1 billion, but just to say it just gets more eyes on the product, and it's a smart move. But then the fans, as fans, we don't like that. So we're gonna boo Goldberg, right? And we're gonna cheer for that guy that he's going against. So it does make a kind of sense in a way, but it kind of sucks because you want to see these guys that have wrestled 300 out of 365 days out of the year to fight in a WrestleMania, but they can't because they brought back Goldberg. And I don't want to see
that kind of fuck up with my suspension of disbelief when I see an old guy beating up young guys that has been wrestling all year and they are well trained and everything. Compared to the guy that just get out of nowhere, he's over 50 years old, barely can walk, but for some reason fucking beat everybody up.
That's it. Well,
but
there is a sense of fakeness too as well. So it's like,
for sure.
I mean, remember, if it came down to it, then Claudio could go in WWE and become the WWE champion, but the guy never wrestled a day in his life. That's how good Vince McMahon can be.
Basically, one of the things that killed WCW is basically they had an actor and he won the title for some reason.
David
Arquette.
I
was just going to say, the collect guy, 1-800 collect guy.
David Arquette. What movie was he on? Rumble in the Jungle, Rumble in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Ready to Rumble. Yeah, Ready to Rumble. So
how stupid it is to bring back old wrestlers back when.
Because if you do it once, you do it twice. Us, like I said, us as fans, we're not stupid. We're not going to cheer when you want us to cheer. So if you're going to do this, keep on doing this stupidity every time and trying to make us think we're stupid, we're going to boo. And that's what happens.
You know what I think what broke that was ECW, because I remember you had ECW One Night Stand, and then they tried to put John Cena against the ECW champion, and then the whole crowd was not only booing Cena would shoot his hat into the crowd.
He would shoot it back.
He would shoot it back.
There was a while after that when he was in the rivalry. Remember when he was with CM Punk before he did that thing to leave and then he came back. He was always throwing his T-shirt in the stands, and they were throwing it back because and he's supposed to be the good guy. That's what's crazy. He's supposed to be the good guy. So it's like, what's going on here? So what do you think Vince McMahon's thinking in the back? He's like, what the hell's going on? I put so much effort into this, and now they're booing him now. What's going on here? So normally you have to counteract that with someone that you think that it's bad, that's going to counteract with him. So they automatically cheer Cena or Roman Reigns at the time, but they still would boo. It's let's go Cena. Cena sucks. You know.
Yeah.
So it's either you like him or you don't. And he's not the best wrestler out there, but
No.
entertainment-wise, the guy puts butts in the seats, man. He puts money in the pocket.
Oh man, but for me, I never forget that story that they did with Stephen Amell when
Oh, my
Goldust.
God.
Was it with Goldust that I think he randomly hit Stephen Amell, and then Stephen Amell.
They're good friends. Stephen Amell and Goldust, and he's been on AEW as well because he's very good friends with Cody and Goldust.
Because in Arrow, he made references to wrestlers, and I'm like, wow, why? It's like saying, like The Rock one day is gonna punch Vin Diesel in the face, and then
look at the trend. Look at the trend of wrestlers. The real big wrestlers, they wrestle for X amount of years, and then they're basically entertainers. So they're basically making movies, but on a shorter scale, right?
Yeah.
These guys are all capable of making movies. You know, they're reading scripts, they're doing storylines, they're playing a character. So they're able to do these things in movie theaters and make more money and not get a chair off the head, you know? So why not? You know, so.
But to be honest, though, not all of them can be actors. Like when you look at it,
no.
a lot of them are
You
fucking
can tell
garbage.
which ones could be and which ones can't. But the majority of those ones are not great wrestlers. There's a lot of great wrestlers that I could say, hey, Bruno, put on this match. I'll watch it for the 10th time in a day because such a great wrestling match. But then give them a mic to talk. Forget it. You don't want to listen to this guy. He sounds like an idiot. You know what I mean? That's what it is. That's what it is.
Well, you
No,
see,
it's
that's why
scripted nowadays.
Because the promos bring the people into the arena. Once they're in the arena, the wrestling takes over. But a lot of them have to be able to talk on a mic, but a lot of them can't. So they have a manager.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
See,
Like my manager is Le Pod God, the Selecta Brew.
the pod
you
guy.
see, this is for me, and you know what? This is for me why I consider Batista one of my favorite, like, I don't know, wrestlers and actors. It's because when he did that movie, The Wrong Side of Town, with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I still have to watch that movie.
Oh, man,
you always
have
tell
to.
me.
You
I'm gonna
have
watch
to
it tonight.
Oh, you
I'm
have
gonna watch
to.
it tonight.
So, and then I was looking at Batista throughout the years of acting, and he when he got the role as I think was Mr. Sphinx in the 007's Spec, he literally cried. You know, because like, oh shit, I'm actually acting. Or when he played Drax in Guardians of the Galaxies, he literally cried, and he got himself an acting coach. And the more films he's done besides Wrong Side of Town, which was a flawed WWE film, but other films, like, man, you see him just getting into that role, like Drax. Like,
no, that's it, exactly. It's when like I said, like in wrestling, and a lot of these guys, they're not great. Like a lot of the ones you could see that are going to make a career after wrestling are the ones that get better and better and better in their promos. Because everyone could be a good wrestler. Everyone could wrestle. And eventually you're going to be a good wrestler if you do it enough times. But on the mic, it's a different game. It's a different story. So, like The Rock. The Rock wasn't the greatest guy on the mic at the beginning.
No, but
then eventually he started getting better.
Oh,
and
man.
then what's the first couple of movies he did? He wasn't a great actor in the first couple of movies. And now all of a sudden he's the biggest actor in Hollywood in the world right now, making the most money out of everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to
Sometimes
say,
the
like,
best promo in wrestling, it were like Jerry Lawler and Ric Flair, and none of them did much movies though.
no, that's it. That's it. And I think even Hulk Hogan was Thunderlips in the Rocky movies there back in the day.
Yeah.
Just to say, like,
Fucking movies were garbage.
Yeah, I know. No, but you know what? Just
realize how cocaine is powerful. You can put on some great promos just by the power of cocaine.
Yeah.
Just for example, like Lesnar, right? When I see Lesnar, by the way, I find Lesnar's better in UFC. When I see Lesnar like about to fight, and then he takes that mic. Hold on, but he takes that fucking mic, and his thick Canadian accent comes in and goes, "Hey, I'm gonna beat you down." Hey, I'm like, what the fuck?
What was that?
Why?
The one against Cormier when he went in the ring? Did you see how bigger Brock Lesnar is compared to Daniel Cormier? And Daniel Cormier is a heavyweight.
He's huge.
Brock Lesnar is a savage.
No, he's huge.
But that's why in wrestling, Brock Lesnar doesn't say one word, gets paid the most amount of money, is barely on TV. He just fights pay-per-views, but when he's on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, he has somebody talking for him, Paul Heyman, and that's it. Paul Heyman's able to get people to watch this match because it's Brock Lesnar, and the way he's telling the story on the mic, he doesn't even have to do anything, Brock Lesnar. But Brock Lesnar is an all-around wrestler. He's the total package. Honestly, if it comes down to it, Brock Lesnar's at the top of my list.
By the way, Paul Heyman, he was announcer for Rollerball. So
Really?
a couple of my friends, when they were actors for Rollerball here in Montreal, Paul was the announcer, and all they remember him saying for 3 hours, because after we do this take, let's play Rollerball.
He was did you know he was the owner of the ECW back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
They used to call him the Walrus back in the day. Jerry the King Lawler used to call him that to make fun of him, but I don't know.
But we call him Frank.
Talking
But
of
Frank.
Oh, go ahead, man.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say because
go
ahead. Fuck. This is why I hate virtual because everyone's talking.
all good.
That's why I prefer in studio. No, Gates.
Soon. Don't worry.
Yeah, Gates answered my question. Brock lives in Canada, but he's from Minnesota. But over the years, he has a thick Canadian accent.
He says he likes to farm. He likes to be. He's the type of guy that likes to be.
alone.
He doesn't like to be bothered.
Yeah,
He doesn't like signing signatures and doing that stuff like that. He comes in, wrestles, ciao. That's it.
Oh yeah, no,
right away.
I can just imagine. No, you catch him on a bad day. Hey, Brocky, can you send my autograph? Hey, fuck off, I'm going with my wife.
It's happened to a couple of wrestlers. I think it happened to Randy Orton one time. One guy was busting his balls at the gym. He's like, Randy. And it's something like I said, some of these guys, it's not their real name, right? So sometimes they have to be called these names. So it's like, hey, stop calling me this. I'm not signing that thing. I'm here. Like, I have 1 hour out of the week to do what I want. I'm at the gym, and you're busting my balls. Get the fuck out of here, Like, and then obviously it goes viral because somebody taped it. And then I have to apologize. You have to send them this and that. And nowadays, you don't know who's watching, right? So someone could be videotaping. So everyone has to be nice to everybody now, right? So
that's right. That's why Massimo. That's why Massimo should be his bodyguard.
Oh, wow. Massimo, a comedian.
Yeah, Massimo, man, Massimo getting angry. He's like, oh, what the fuck is this thing, bro? Fuck you. Man, he could ram people onto the ground, man. Give him a six-pack and let's fucking do it.
He has that wrestling, like, you look like a wrestler, Massimo, I could say.
Yeah, I know. See, that's why. If it's you versus him or Guido, oh fuck, man. I hope you have a la Chorans.
Okay, so we'll go the Southern Boys podcast versus Jofo in the ring.
Oh,
Kyle Moraine. How do you say it? Kyle Moraine. Shout out to my partner in crime, Kyle Moraine. The spoiler Moraine. And we'll go. You know what? Like I like. That's why I like to do. I like to do things like that, collaborations, especially with guys that like wrestling and stuff. Like that's what I'm trying to branch out to people and like outside of Montreal, like in New York and Toronto and Vancouver and stuff. So like, I want to get the perspective. And like I'll even give you a little tidbit. In a couple of weeks, we have a girl that wrestles in India. That's going to be on the show as well.
Oh, I seen her. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
So she's going to give us the perspective of what's going on in India and wrestling. Because you know what? We only know what's happening, what we see on TV and what's around us, right? So everybody wants to know what's going on in India or in Australia or, in New York. So we're trying to get every single perspective. So
I want to cut you off, guys, but there's a little controversy going on in the chat. People are wondering where Brock Lesnar is coming from. So basically, he comes from South Dakota.
Yeah.
South Dakota, yeah.
South Dakota.
Yeah.
Webster, South Dakota.
But he moved to Canada and he pretty much is a citizen now. So he has like a dual citizenship.
Yeah.
Bruno, his wife is Sable or is Sable, right?
Sable, Sable.
Sable, yeah.
Oh shit!
I get confused with Sable and I know. Okay, now I know it's not Sunny because Sunny. Remember Sunny used to come out?
Sunny, she got big, man.
She turned into like a porn star and she's in legal stuff. She's getting arrested every 3 days or something like that. I don't know what the hell's going on with her.
Jesus Christ, it's amazing.
But Sable looks as good as she did before. Sunny just like lost herself, like she just
she
threw
was.
herself in the
Oh yeah,
trash.
no, sorry, looks like she's on cocaine.
Oof, yeah, big time. Or even
she does
crack or
all
something.
the
I don't know.
yeah, all the drugs on the fucking books. She's doing it, man.
But that's what it is too. I'm sure a lot of these guys used to take like you watch these documentaries and like Kurt Angle used to take like 45, 50 pills a day because his neck hurt so much he was so used to that, and it would kill the pain. It would freeze him up. Go wrestle. Then he finishes wrestling. Oh, it hurts. What do? I'm gonna have a couple of drinks, 45 pills or whatever it is. Go to bed, and then hopefully I wake up the next day. You know, like it's sad to say, but nowadays it's more regulated, and you know they're taking care of the talent now. Before it was. It's, if you don't show up, okay, next we're gonna get the next guy to come in, and you know if I'm injured, I can't wrestle, I don't make money, and then I'm at the top of my game. If I can't wrestle, that means I gotta wait on the side for 6 months to heal, and someone else is gonna take my spot, and that's how the cycle works, right? That's how the cycle works.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's fairly recent, the whole thing about the checking if they're drugged up or anything like.
Well, it's more of the concussions now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them used to wrestle with concussions, and then they were suing WWE 20 years later. It's like, well, I don't know, like, they didn't know. Like, how do I know I had I'm sure we've all had concussions before. We don't know if we have one or not, unless you're passed out and like blacked out. But other than that, a little shot to the head to me could be different from Claudio, and I could get a concussion, and you know he's got a hard head just because he's Italian. I know that, but it's just
or he's an idiot. One of the two.
Everyone's different, or like they say in Italian, "a testa dura."
I know. Actually, today I smashed my door downstairs. Went to canteen. I smashed it head first because stupid me. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna jump these four flight of stairs. I jumped, but then I went head first into a fucking door. So I was like,
salam. What's wrong with you?
Salam.
Salam.
I'm like, you know what? You know what, guys? Okay.
God damn. Well, there was something in the chat. The Jofo guys were wondering, Frank, what's your favorite WWE intro?
Jofo podcast asked me that. He's sitting right here next to me. This guy, every day of my life, he's asking me out the chat.
They want to be part of it.
And he calls himself Le Pod God. This guy, fuck. My favorite song. I'm gonna go down. It's D-Generation X. Are you ready? That was my classic. But honestly, like I was a big Triple H fan back in the day. I liked Motorhead. As well, okay. But DX is probably, and maybe I'll go close second. Bret the Hitman Hart because I like that.
Oh, that was a cool one.
I always loved Bret Hart. I get attached. Like I like the homegrown guys, like Kevin Owens. Now he's from Maryville, Quebec, Canada. Sami Zayn from Montreal, and I like to encourage guys that are from around here, you know. And plus, the guy Sexy Eddie wrestled more than 20, 30 matches with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They were like best friends in the independents. And coincidentally, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn made it, and Sexy Eddie's doing the Jofo in the Ring podcast. You know?
Hey!
So, just to say, like, it's crazy. It's a full
God damn, man. That's what it is.
10 years, Claudio will be doing GFL and Nick Peter will be at Jofo.
Oh, man. That would be fucking sick, though. That would be fucking sick. Yeah.
Hold on. Be fucking sad.
I know. Hold on, girls. You're not saying anything. Mel's like about to fall asleep. Victoria, she's thinking about salad tossers. So you both have anything to add in this wrestling, you know?
You know what?
About songs
for the women, honestly, women's wrestling right now is probably at the best it is right now. If you're ever gonna take a chance to watch and try to get into wrestling, just because women's wrestling is at the top of its game right now, and honestly, maybe 10 years ago, it was more of the who had the bigger boobs and like bikini matches and stuff. Now they're actually wrestling, and they actually mean something to the company. So, like I said, I'm not going to force you to watch wrestling, but if you would, honestly, the women's wrestling right now is at the top of their game right now.
But to be fair, like 10 years ago, the big boob shit was kind of dying off.
Well, because it was the Attitude Era. You had to get people to come and watch. Yeah. So they based. There was a saying that Vince Russo said. he said that he based his storylines on Jerry Springer. So
Yeah,
basically,
I have
people
no problem
watching
to
Jerry
believe that.
Springer with
Oh,
the
good
fights
God.
and all the stupidity like that, he was basing it on wrestling stuff. So people would tune in to watch wrestling because it had the same feel as Jerry Springer. And I'm sure we've all watched a Jerry Springer episode before. So, you know what I mean? I'd watch one
Melodramatic.
tonight if I could find one, just to have a laugh,
So,
But
guys,
that's how it
for
was
those who
wrestling back in
don't
the day.
know who's Vince Russo, if you were a old fan of WCW and you're wondering what happened, this fucking guy happened.
Vince
Basically,
Russo.
Sure jokes.
like in 2 years, he fucking killed the business. Old, like I don't know how old it was, but like it
A
was.
lot of people say that. I don't believe that. I don't believe
Yeah,
that.
but you,
yeah, no, his storyline
I don't
was-
believe that.
but in the WWE, he did some good angles there though.
Wow,
Yeah,
he
you
was
know
part
why?
of the
You
was
know
part of
why?
the Attitude Era. But
Yeah.
then
Yes,
what
but
happened
there's a
was
reason.
then he went to WCW when
Yeah.
everybody went to WCW.
launch.
You know what it was? Everybody was getting an open-ended contract. So basically saying, "Hey, come to WCW. Here's the check. Write down the number, and this is what you're getting." It was
yeah.
Ted Turner, and he wanted to destroy Vince McMahon because he hated him. He hated him. So he was taking everybody, he was paying them X amount of dollars, millions of dollars, contracts, and it's like, let's go, let's beat this guy. They didn't end up beating him because in the end, it comes down to this. They didn't have a Vince McMahon in the back to regulate all this bullshit that they were doing in
Yeah,
WCW.
But that's
because
what I was about to say though. Like back when Vince Russo was in the WF,
yeah,
he had Vince McMahon over him to pick up the good shit
yes,
that he
Yes.
put on all the million of bad,
yes,
horrible.
because let's say he
crap
goes, I
was
want to
writing.
do this storyline that Claudio comes down. He's supposed to shake my hand. We turn around. I go like this, and then he takes the chair and he smashes it over my head.
for no fucking reason.
So then that idea comes out. In WWE, what happens is you have to go through Vince McMahon. The last resort
Yeah.
is Vince McMahon. And you know what? A lot of people don't. They say, "Oh, why does it have to go through him? He's so old. He's not up to the times." That guy's been doing this for 40, 50 years. I'm going to take his advice over the pod god over here. You know what I mean? That's the difference. But that's the difference. Don't
I hope
disrespect
so.
to the pod god, but just the same. But now when Vince Russo goes to WCW, he's
Yeah,
supposed to be
so
the big cheese, and the Vince
Yeah.
McMahon there is Ted Turner, and Ted Turner doesn't even know how to spell wrestling. So
Yeah.
just to
there's
say, and then Vince Russo puts on a storyline, and people don't like it. They're like, "Oh, what's going on here? Why aren't you as good as you were in WWF?" Because you don't have a Vince McMahon over your shoulder telling you if
bullshit.
it is good or not. You just think it's good, but Vince McMahon really knows if it's good or not. I'm going to take his advice over Vince
But Jim
Russo.
Cornette was telling, like, basically was spending 2 hours with Vince Russo and Vince McMahon, and
Yeah.
Vince McMahon would listen to all his dumb fucking ideas.
Oh,
On
they
2
hate each
hours,
other.
he had,
They hate each other.
I know.
They
I know,
hate
I know.
each other. Yeah.
But on 2 hours, he had like one good idea, and then Vince McMahon was like, "Yeah, that's a well invested 2 hours." And
Yeah.
Jim Cornette was like, "What? It was a fucking waste of time. Like I
Because
spent 2 hours
Vince
for one good
Russo,
idea."
Vince Russo is part of the new. At that time, he was part of the new generation of guys, producers, storyline writers. Right?
Yeah.
Vince
Yeah.
Russo started. He used to write for the WWE magazine. Vince McMahon used to read it and say, "Who is this guy?" Never met him before. He's like, "I want this guy in my office right now. He's got some good ideas." Brought him into the office, and the whole Vince Russo thing started. But Jim Cornette is a guy that's been
Yeah,
he was
old
never
school.
a wrestler, but he was part of wrestling from the 1970s, I think, or the early 80s. So he's an old school guy. So
Yeah,
an
he's
old
really
school,
old
it's like an old Claudio. I'm sure you know that Italians, an old man that goes with a younger guy, and they start arguing. Who's okay? Well, you just give it up to the old man. The old man wins, even though he could be wrong or anything. It's just how it is. They just clash. And, and a funny thing is, Jim Cornette hates Vince Russo to the point he told his wife.
Yeah.
He put in. He told his wife, "You're out of the will if you don't do this. I want to be brought in a wheelchair if I have to. I want to dance on Vince Russo's grave and piss on his grave." That's what he wanted to do. He goes, or my wife, and if my wife, and he goes, "I'm gonna leave a thing of piss. I want you to throw the piss on his grave if I die before him. I don't give a shit." He hates them that freaking much. I'm telling you, man.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
How
Hates
nice.
them. And this is real. This is real talk. I'm not talking wrestling like storylines, right? This is real talk, man.
But you know what, Frank?
It's crazy.
Sorry, George.
There's the thing is crazy with people in wrestling is that I've been in wrestling for way too long that they kind of have a blurry relationship.
Well, there's a lot of jealousy too, right? A lot of people get jealous. A lot of people get jealous, and one guy that you think, oh, why does this guy always get the title shots and this and that? It makes more money than me, and I'm the guy that like it's like the thing when you bring in a guy like Goldberg. Goldberg will probably make a one-shot deal. You'll make $2 million for that one match. You know how crazy that is? And a guy that's making $2 million a year, but fighting 350 days out of 365. Goldberg comes in one time, makes $2 million, and you don't see him for another 2 years. How would you feel? I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, the fan base doesn't like it one bit. And I saw Goldberg in his good year. I see him like Santa Claus beard, and I'm like, what the fuck? Plus, I don't want to see that anymore.
And these guys, they get older, right? So when you see them 10 years ago, they're like superheroes. Now they're like it's like wow, it's like I want to see this old man. Like he can't even pick the guy up for his finishing move anymore. You know,
when did he stop wrestling?
He stopped wrestling a couple of years ago, but it's his name. The name, it still exists. People still want to see him. There's those fans that still want to see, but those are the fans that I don't like. Like I don't want to see Goldberg. I want to see a guy like Kevin Owens, a young guy.
But you know what, Frank?
Cesaro. I want to see these guys.
Move on.
Put in Claudio Capri instead, for God's sakes, in there. You know.
But you know what, Frank?
Go ahead, Peter.
But you know what, Frank? But I like that you went there. I like you went there because that's the thing. I have my problem. I'll still like tune in to wrestling here and there, obviously, because you're covering it.
Either way, I'm gonna watch it anyways. That's how of a gullible fan I am. But I'm like when I tell everybody, if you're gonna complain and critique about wrestling, you gotta watch it. If you don't watch it and you critique and you criticize, then I don't want to listen to your criticism. You have no value into what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's why I tell people in the chat, tell me what you think.
For a reason, though.
You know what I mean? Like we don't have any trolls yet, but just to say, if people don't like what we're doing, and if you watch it and you tell me this is why I don't like it, hey, I'm the first guy to say, hey, you know what? You're right, man. I'm going to change. I'm going to do this. No problem. But if you don't watch it, if you don't watch wrestling and you criticize, you're one of those guys that just criticizes because you want to criticize. Hey, what the hell, man? Go criticize something else. Fuck, you know?
You're not the audience. Like, get out of there.
That's it. Exactly. If you don't like it, don't watch it. That's it.
There's a lot of people that don't watch it today, but they used to be wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Like, I was a wrestling fan. So.
Yeah. But here's the thing. This is where obviously they're still doing their thing, but like they're still characters. But I felt like back then in the Russo I was just gonna talk about this guy named Val Venus. Okay, I don't know if you remember this guy. So for everybody here that doesn't know, ladies, he was like
he follows Jofo in the ring on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah,
he does. Oh, Frank, that's fucking hilarious.
So does Vince Russo as well. You know who else follows us on Frank Jofo's account, not on Jofo in the ring. Yeah, John Cena follows us on my account.
Oh, shit!
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. But a lot of these guys, they do it randomly. They do it randomly, right? So what I do is I try to communicate with them like by commenting on their stuff, and if they like it back or they retweet or they share, then at least and then I'm like, okay, I'm doing wrestling stuff, right? But John Cena, forget it. You'll never get anything from him. That's just a random. Let me just follow 20 random people today, and I got lucky that day. So,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing, Frank. Okay, so here's the thing. So with Val Venus, okay, so now this is where I'm talking about the storylines. Now, I saw clips of like last SmackDown with oh my gosh, how did I forget his name? How did I forget his? Oh my gosh, how did I forget his name?
Reigns.
Anyway. Yeah, Reigns with the he has to follow his lead type thing. Back then, I remember
tribal chief.
The tribal tree thing. Yeah, that's it. So, but the thing is, I remember Val Venus back in the day. He had this feud with Tyne Ty. Yeah. So they had a match, and this is where I like the wackiness of it back in the days. Right? The match was if Val Venus loses, the Tyne Ty, this like Japanese gang would chop off his dick.
Choppy,
So-
choppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you take a sword and chop his
Choppy,
dick.
choppy,
And then-
pee. That's what it was. A Chinese guy. He was a Chinese guy, and he used to go, "I choppy your pee like that." That's what his thing. But that's entertaining, you know. Like, and then the culmination of that is them wrestling, and then at the point it's like, who cares who wins? I'm entertained here. So then that wrestling is just bonus, you know.
But here's the thing. And you didn't know who was going to win, so you always you figured, okay, Val Venus is going to win.
Yeah.
But then Val Venus loses, so then you're like, so then he does like the choppy thing on at the end of the paper. He's like, oh, we chopped his penis, and then the next day on Raw, he's all like, I still got it, guys. I still got it. And it's like, wait a minute, the penis grew back. Like, what happened? I'm trying to figure out. And,
because you know what, back then we didn't think anything of it like back then. Now when we're older, it's like, wow, it's like this, Peter. Hulk Hogan used to finish his finishing move was a leg drop.
Leg drop. That's
a leg
crazy.
drop. How many leg drops do you see in a match? Now you see 20, 30, 40 of them. Sweet Chin Music's the same thing. Shawn Michaels was doing Sweet Chin Music to end the match.
Yeah.
Now everybody's doing it, but you didn't think of that. Nowadays you think of that, and it's like, okay, what's going on here? But back then, a buried alive match. It's buried alive matches and put dirt on top of people to bury them alive. But then on Monday Night Raw, then Monday Night Raw, you see Undertaker walking around on the back.
But you know what, Frank?
You don't think anything of it. Just don't think anything of it. Oh, you got buried alive last night. I'm okay today. I'm okay. I rose from the dead.
He came out.
Just don't think anything of it.
That guy Undertaker that could throw balls like during his entrance and everything,
That's it.
but once in the ring, he doesn't electrocute his fucking opponents for some reason.
No,
it's crazy.
But
here's
the thing, Frank. Here's the thing, Frank. Back in the day, so now I see like finishers like 20 times a match. Like I'm over exaggerating.
I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of that.
I had to go to the store and back in the day when you used to rent videos, I used to rent a video just to see what the sharpshooter looked like. Like I didn't even know what the frig it looked like. You never see it on
classic.
Raw.
Those were the classic moves. You know what? Because a lot of people don't like taking the same moves from guys from back in the day. Like Kevin Owens now, he's doing the Stone Cold Stunner. But he asked Stone Cold if he was able to do it because a lot of people don't like. You don't want to be associated with people like that, right? Because then it looks like you're a lazy character. You're a lazy guy. You're just stealing everything from everybody else. You're not coming up with anything original, right? So when you see these guys like Ricochet, that's the guy I love because the guy he's all over the place. You know what I mean? And he's very innovative and he's doing something different every single week. But a guy like back in the day, like Bret Hart was the best technical wrestler out there.
Yeah.
And you could have you don't need any mics, you don't need any nothing. Just the wrestling ring, put them in, and you're gonna have a great match. That's all you needed.
Yeah.
But nowadays it's more of the entertainment factor. So that's why you need to be good on the mic to entertain these people to bring them in the ring. You didn't have to do anything back then. You know, imagine you had guys like they were named Big Boss Man, Doink the Clown, Repo Man. You had the Goon. you had Hacksaw Jim Duggan. With the 2x4. You know, like all these gimmicks.
You forget the turkey, man.
Doink.
All these gimmicks. You had a guy named Duke the Dumpster Drozy. Used to come out with a garbage can. Imagine that.
Oh, that's great.
You're a garbage man. You go into Vince McMahon's office. Okay, what character you think I could portray, Vince? You know what? You're gonna be a garbage man. You're gonna be called Duke the Dumpster Drozy. And then you know what? If you say no, you don't want to do it. Okay,
you're fired.
Go to the side, and you know what? Bruno or Tico will do it. You know, like and you're gonna do whatever it takes to be on TV, and that's what it is. That's what it was back then.
Yeah, hold on. I have to contest that because said Bruno or Teeks, their backs are probably going to go out if they actually try to do that move. fucking Teeks is like,
Trust me.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
It's not for the weak at heart wrestling. It's the real deal. It hurts. It hurts.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to be in shape. And like I said, anything can happen.
Hey, but is Big Show actually in shape? Because man, I see him shirtless when he's wrestling.
Back then, he was 550 pounds.
Yeah.
Now he's back in shape now because a big guy like that, he had to get surgeries on his back, his hip, and everything, and he's getting thrown. Imagine a big guy like that getting thrown is a lot different from a guy like me getting thrown. You know, it hurts extra. It hurts a little bit more extra on him because he's a bigger guy, and he's. A lot of these guys are freaks of nature. Like Andre the Giant. Like if you've watched the documentary on Andre the Giant.
Oh,
like,
that was messed up.
Honestly, man, I shed a tear. The poor guy. He went through torture.
Yeah, absolutely,
man. Torture the guy, man. Like, and you know what's crazy about that? It's Andre the Giant. He fought his first match in Canada at the Verdun Auditorium. My dad told me that. My dad was at there with one of his good friends at the Verdun Auditorium. Imagine Andre the Giant. It's crazy, man. But it takes a toll, man. But that's why making more money and not wrestling until you're 40, 50, like these older guys. Like I know the newer generation, they're not gonna wrestle till they're 40, 50 years old. They're gonna leave 5, 6 years from now, they're done. And then the new batch of guys come in. You know, you make a couple $1 million, you invest it, you know, and you get married and you stay at home, and then all the endorsements and you have because of your name in wrestling after it helps after, right? So you don't have to wrestle for the rest of your life now. All these guys like Goldberg, it's like Goldberg said, he goes, my son never got to see me wrestle, but I go, fuck. He goes on YouTube, he could see his matches in a 10-minute. Like I wrestled hundreds of matches, but they lasted about 30 seconds each. You know,
it's so true.
You know, you want your son to make you look like a loser. You know what I mean? Don't get me started with Goldberg.
Yeah, unless you could see Goldberg fighting Jean-Claude Van Damme in Universal Soldiers Return. Oh man,
I like that movie. I don't care.
Goldberg,
I like that
people
movie.
are like, oh, he should be an actor, but he's not a good actor. Like I don't see him. I don't know. It's just maybe because I've seen him so many times. He's not a guy. I think he makes me cringe when he's on the mic. You know, like I don't know. Yeah. I don't want to say too much. I know he's Bruno's favorite wrestler, but
oh yeah.
I don't know.
Really?
Well, his favorite wrestler is Big Papa Pump.
Oh, really?
You know what?
Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner. You know, Scott Steiner. I was gonna say before with Buff Bagwell, underrated finisher, man. I love that.
Oh yeah, the
the
Frankensteiner.
backbreaker from the top. Yeah, from the top rope. Yeah, that was freaking. Love that.
Because you know what? Like now. Like I said, like back in the day, like that's why I think wrestling is a little bit like fucked up now because we got spoiled when we were kids. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure Peter, if you watched it back in the day, like Claudio and myself, nowadays it's like you're seeing the same things happening again. It's like, oh, this storyline again. Like people, they recycle stuff from 20 years ago and they put it on TV now. But unfortunately, people like us, we remember these things. But the majority of the people haven't. So you're right now, they're not catering to us. They're catering to newer viewers. They want new people to come and see, right? They're always going to have us there. We're always going to watch. Even if it's one time a week or one time a month, we're still going to watch. But they want newer people to watch because back in the day, they used to have 10 million people watching every Monday night. You can't even get 1.5 million, 2 million people now on a Monday night.
But the thing is, you couldn't get away with the stuff that they were doing back then. Like remember when Stone Cold was stunnered Stacy Keibler for not drinking beer? Yeah. You could not do that now, man.
Yeah, you can't do that. No kidding. You can't do that. You used to have remember the sex scene they had with Edge and Lita in the bed after you won the title.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It looked like Lita was giving him a blowjob under the sheets. You can't do that now. You cannot do that now. But people were loving it. And then they're like, oh, I can't wait to see what they do next week. Hook, line, and sinker right there. I'm watching next week for sure. But that's how it is. But they can't do something like that now. And it's a lot. That's why it's a lot harder to grab those fans now. Well, that's why you have to think like maybe I have to get these people because of great wrestling or great entertainment. Sometimes you get that good entertainment moment, but the wrestling goes a long way now. And that's why there's a lot of great wrestlers out there. Like I said, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, not because they're from Canada or Quebec, but to me, they're one of the top 2 wrestlers in WWE. So
considering his shape, like Kevin Owens is really surprising. The move he can put on.
He doesn't look like he's in shape. Like he's got a little bit of a belly, but the guy does moves that a guy like Ricochet could do. Like he's doing moonsaults off the top rope. And the first time I saw him do that, I'm like, okay, but big guys like this are not supposed to do this. It's impossible. What's going on here?
Well, you remember Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam Bigelow
was a special guy. And you know what? Yokozuna, I'm telling you, if he had 50 pounds less, I'm sure he could have did something off the top rope. The guy, you know what? A great, even Undertaker says it to this day. Bret Hart, probably top 3 wrestlers that he's ever known, because he was a great wrestler, but he never had to talk because he was Japanese, right? He was Japanese and he couldn't talk English, and he had Mr. Fuji as his manager. But wrestler, my God, if he lost 50 to maybe 100 pounds, that guy could have, I'm telling you, and he probably would have still been alive. Rest in peace, man. The guy,
definitely,
he died, fuck, you know.
400, 500 pounds.
500 pounds, man. And you know what's crazy? It took me so long to figure it out. I didn't know back in the day. He was portrayed as Yokozuna, the Japanese sumo wrestler. He's Samoan. He was Samoan.
Yeah.
I know. I didn't know that until like fucking years ago. But it's just to say, like, but like I said, we grew up with no social media. It's not like I could go, hey, let me go Google Yokozuna and see where. No, we couldn't do that. We couldn't do that, and they weren't telling us on WWE TV.
Yeah.
So
for years.
Oh, shit.
Crazy.
No, for years I thought Undertaker came from Death Valley. I was like, oh shit, you know, and then you find out he's like from Austin, Texas. You're like, what the fuck is really
coming down the aisle from parts unknown? Where the fuck is parts unknown? Parts unknown.
And worse,
Mankind used to come from the boiler room. Part of the boiler room. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like Doink the Clown. Doink the Clown was like, he's part of this. He was from the circus. Is like, what are you talking about?
But you see the hook, line, and sinker that they did their job because you remember that. So they did what they had to do. That's perfect. That's how wrestling is, man. They just do it so many times that you remember, and that's what's going to make you. If you hear Undertaker's coming back next week, you're going to watch it because you remember Undertaker. He was a great wrestler and everything. So that's
Undertaker
how it works, man.
It
just keeps on going.
Like I remember Undertaker back in the day used to he used to know how to type rope, so he used to know how to walk on the ropes.
Yeah.
So
it he still does that, but not as much. Like it was his move. Like he used to hold the guy. But you know what's crazy is that it's all the guy holding him from the bottom, right? It's not him actually tight roping because he's basically holding him and pushing him like he's keeping him balanced, right? That's where you start learning the instead of watching the actual guy, you have to watch what happens on the other side of it too. And that's what I've started learning to do in the last couple of years. It's like, wow, like the ins and outs of wrestling is a lot crazier than I thought, man. And so like even under the ring and stuff like that, when people are under the ring, or the referees have earpieces and they're getting told what to do in the ring and stuff like that. And it's a whole thing, man. So
even I think in the Japanese, I think it was like Terry Funk, Mankind. There was like they're fighting. They were fighting in like this like hardcore match. It was like there was like flames. There was like barbed wire, everything.
Barbed wire as the wrestling ropes.
Yeah, the wrestling ropes. Yeah, and then I think one of the guys was like, "Oh shit! The way the ring is built, the fire is gonna freaking go in the center of the ring and just freaking like burn everybody." So they're like, "Get the fuck out of the ring." So everyone's like, oh, what the hell? So they jump out and then boom, like the whole ring just lit on fire. You're like, oh shit.
See, guys like that, those are the guys you have to, when you see Mick Foley or Terry Funk, you got to shake their hands, give them a big hug, because guys like that, I'm telling you, because guys like that, they weren't the typical Hulk Hogan's, Ultimate Warriors, Macho Man guys. You can see how they are, right? They're just like normal blue collar guys. But to get where they wanted to go, they had to throw themselves headfirst into a plate glass, or throw themselves off a Hell in a Cell, or burn their clothes in a ring, or do barbed wire matches. They had to do that. They just couldn't get ahead because of their merit and good wrestling. No. That's it. That's how crazy it is, and that's why a lot of the guys now they leave. I saw it. Then they leave and they come back. They leave and come back, and they come up. They come up like they're like Hulk. They all look like Hulk Hogan's now. Yeah. You know, and those are the guys that Vince McMahon wants as champions. You don't want a guy that looks like Yokozuna, or you know what I mean. Like it's they want guys that you could put on a poster or a magazine, or if they go on NBC or Fox, they want to represent the company with a specimen like Hulk Hogan. You know, that's
It's
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Peter, and I'll do
but like I know what he did, like the reality show with the girls. I never really watched that, but I remember they would push that entertainment, like they pushed that to like kind of like get more fans
Well, they're
wrestlers.
smart
So they
now.
had
Now
like
they have the WWE Network now, so it's like instead of waiting every Monday and Friday to watch wrestling, you could literally just go on WWE
Tune
Network and tune in and watch these old like Bruno always tells me, go watch the WCW from back in the day. You can watch a WCW from 1997 if you really want to.
Yeah.
And just go along like every Monday and watch one, and it's pretty cool, man. Because back in the day, I wasn't a big fan of WCW because I didn't have that cable. Like I only had TSN and like the basic channels, right? I couldn't watch WCW that was on TNT. The American channels.
WCW was on RDS, which was the French.
Yeah, but I wasn't a big.
TSN.
That was
I
was
know,
my
I
excuse not to watch WCW. I wasn't a WCW.
Hey,
Joey, man.
So Frank, a friend of mine once asked a question.
Sure.
Who on Mount Rushmore of wrestling? Like, who are the 4 longtime wrestlers? 4-time. The fuck? I'm reading.
Are you okay?
Who he thinks my
Why,
Mount
is everything
Rushmore
good?
is?
Like, who
Yes,
are the
the
4
four
gods?
wrestlers.
Yes,
Okay, who are the 4
exactly.
guys? Okay,
Yes.
this I had the same conversation with Joey Casada on the last episode, and honestly, you could ask anybody the same question. There is no wrong answers because
Yeah.
it's just
There's
your
so many
opinion,
good
right? Just like that show on Monday nights, 9 p.m. Jofo and like I said, it's just a little quick plug there, a little quick plug for Jofo podcast there, you know.
That's a bit tacky, guys.
Yeah. So basically, we did an episode on this. Me and Kyle did an episode on this as well, and mine was Hulk Hogan, The Rock, John Cena, and Ric Flair.
Ric Flair,
Were
yeah,
mine.
for sure.
Were mine.
Yeah, Ric
But then a
Flair.
lot of people were like, "Oh, what about Bruno Sammartino or Andre the Giant?" But it's opinion based. You know what I mean? Like there was a whole discussion about it on our Facebook group. People were complaining like, "How do you know? Why don't you pick this guy? Why don't you pick that guy?" I'm like, our show is called Jofo in the Ring. Just our fucking opinion. Your opinion is right. My opinion is right. Melanie's is right. Victoria's, Peter's, everybody's is right. There's no wrong answer. So take it how you want it. You know, like that's it. That's exactly.
Sometimes all the name that you just named, they make sense because you grew up watching them.
Well, that's what it is too, right?
Grew up watching Bruno Sammartino. Like who is?
Well, like
80
maybe
years old?
if I would ask my dad, maybe my dad would know. But I no disrespect to Bruno Sammartino, but a guy like that, he was, I think he was champion for like 10, 15 years in a row until he lost it.
Shit.
Yeah.
Trust me, the guy was and Andre the Giant.
deal.
Andre the Giant was undefeated for I think 10 years before he lost to Hulk Hogan at the WrestleMania. So, like it's like I said, it's just your opinion on that. So anybody could say whatever they want. There's no wrong answer. So
Yeah, and to add to that, I remember when I was younger, my dad used to bring me, to the bar with his friends. My dad had his friend. His name was Calogero Santa Maria.
Okay.
He would come
What
to
a
the
name,
bar.
fuck.
I know, he would
What's
come
that
to the
name?
bar. He would come to the bar with a pipe.
Who the fuck is this guy?
I know. He would come to the bar.
I'm okay.
He had like a beige leather jacket, typical from like Mafia Inc. leather. And he would come with a leather with a pipe, and then he would go, "I think this guy, he's a good wrestler," but he would name the most shittiest wrestler. But then when but then the pipe was in his jacket. But then as soon as I remember my dad and another guy disagreed with him, so Santa Maria got up, took out the pipe and just smashed the pipe on the table. He goes, "Oh yeah, I put this in your ass and I show you who should." And my dad,
he's a good wrestler. He's a good wrestler.
my dad,
Yeah.
but my dad was a hard-headed Italian, right? And he was also in the Navy before. My dad got up and goes, "Yeah, I'll fucking show you what the fuck."
Oh my god!
Oh, shit.
Like I never came back to the bar again. Fuck.
This is the way you go. Oh yeah, you take it as a pull on you, the wrestler. My guy good, you guys are no good. Is he Italian? Oh, fuck him. My dad's like, well, neither is yours. Shut up. I'm like, oh man, those are great.
Have you guys like like even the girls too? Have you guys ever been to a wrestling show at the Bell Center before?
Yeah, I've been
No.
to one.
No.
My first ex-girlfriend, she brought me to one. And this is before she became
Aw.
this is before she
How
became my
romantic! She
girlfriend.
just want to punch you in the face, though. That's like the
Maybe that's what it
wrestling
was.
part of the story.
Yeah, because I like it. She goes, "Hey, let's go see wrestling." I'm like,
Deep
It's a
down,
trap.
you're
What
like,
did you do
deep
now?
down, you're
What
like,
did you do
yes,
now?
I'm going to wrestling. And you're like, okay,
yes,
babe,
no, but
we'll
yeah,
go,
no, but
you
this
know,
is
it's okay.
no, but this is before we became like girlfriend and boyfriend. I'm like, fuck, there's a
Ooh.
trap. There's I know this, and then we're going home. I'm going I was gonna go sleep at her place again. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend. She
Ooh.
goes, Claudia, I like you. In my head, I'm like, fuck. I've been trapped. I knew this was too good to be true. This dude.
But yeah, so yeah, if Mel, Victoria, you guys have been to wrestling shows? No, eh?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have, yeah.
No, man. No.
She didn't tell me.
No,
I mean,
Joey.
I went to
Whoa,
once
whoa,
at the.
whoa, 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 whoa,
Sebastian
whoa,
Borgo
whoa,
interview.
whoa,
That's
Gabe,
okay.
whoa, Gabes, please, for the love of God.
We don't say that name on this
Hey.
podcast.
We don't say their name on these podcasts. They're forbidden names.
Delete the comment right now. Delete, delete,
Fucking weird,
delete,
Gabes.
delete,
I know-
delete.
Delete.
I
No,
know,
honestly,
I know
I'm
you're
ready,
Balde.
Delete.
I'm ready to bet that Gates is actually Sebastian Borgo and he's trying to be like
Gabes.
You know what? I think hey Peter,
In
we have our
disguise.
wrestling match for
Ew.
Jofo Jam 2. Sebastian
shit.
Borgo, Claudio Capri,
Yes.
Podcast
Oh,
Wars.
Oh fuck!
Let's
You know
do it.
what? You know what? You know what? You know what? Actually,
No
before we
holds
You
barred.
know
continue,
what? You know what?
Before we
Anything
continue,
goes.
you know how Sebastian could lose to the match. All I have to do is just bring a bag of Ruffles chips. Throw on
This
the
is going to
floor.
be a non-sanctioned match. There's no storyline, nothing. It's
Yeah.
the first blood. First, whoever bleeds first loses. That's it.
Hey, question for
Whoever,
you.
whoever loses their nuts. Whoever loses their
Hey,
nuts.
hey, question for you,
It's chop, chop.
Frank. Question
Yeah.
for you. So when you're gonna fight Guido Grasso, are you gonna fight him
Who said I'm fighting Guido Grasso?
in spandex? Are you gonna fight him in spandex? In tight leather
Please
spandex?
don't.
Because
No,
Victoria Mel want to
No,
know.
no, 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 don't do
I
that.
want
used
to
to
know.
wear-
Yeah.
Not-
My wrestler was called because I was from Villamard. So
Yeah.
my wrestler was called the
Yeah.
Villamard Brawler back in the day.
Oh.
So I used to wear like I was like a scroungy, like I used to wear ripped jeans and a ripped T-shirt. That's what my attire was. No
I
spandex
think you're
and
right.
showing my beautiful abs, and my beautiful shaved chest, none of that crap. But
What was your persona like?
my persona was more of like I was a good guy, but I was a bad guy. But the people from Villamard that always used to come to the events were always cheering Villamard, so it seemed like I was a good guy. I was portraying a bad guy, but
Okay.
I was a good guy to the Villamardians
I
out
see.
there at the
You know
show.
what,
Hey.
guys? We need to form our own wrestling group.
No.
That's
That
it.
would be really
Well,
fun.
look, honestly, like I said, like when Jofo Jam 2 next summer, we're gonna be obviously you know what Jofo Jam's all about. There's gonna be some
Yeah.
comedy. There's gonna be everything.
We're gonna make some marmalades too.
You guys are always welcome to join us in the wrestling. If you guys want to be a ring announcer or even actually wrestle or ring the bell
shotgun,
or
I'm
shotgun,
wrestling.
shotgun. I want to be the
I'm
ring
wrestling.
announcer. I need to be a ring announcer.
I wanna be wrestling.
And now we have Peter Bowen and Joel Laflamme facing off against Frank Jofo. Oh, and Teeks is there, but his back is going out. Oh shit! Look at Teeks, he's constipated. Who's gonna win this match? And Joey filed a ban on appeal. Who's gonna go? And Peter's disqualified. Well, because of the color of his skin. But hey, you know what? Another round, ladies and gentlemen. And then we'll have, and then what?
Bringing wrestling from the 50s.
Exactly. Oh my God! You know what I want to bring back? I want to bring back oil wrestling. That's what I want to bring back.
Oh.
What is
Oil
that?
wrestling for guys?
No.
Peter, talk to this guy.
No. What
Talk
happened
to
was,
this guy,
okay,
Peter.
hold on. It's because.
It's okay if you're gay, Claudio. It's
No.
Audio, we love and support you.
No. What happened
I
was
wasn't
because
I don't love you,
listen,
but I support you.
Listen, Victoria and Mal could do the oil wrestling. Could do the oil wrestling. That's where I'm getting. People assume to.
What do you dream about that night, though?
That
That's
actually,
fine.
you know
Then
what,
we
bro?
can just say
It's
that.
YouTube.
It's okay, Claudio. It's okay.
You know what,
It's okay.
guys?
We
No
accept
one
it.
That
Basically,
was
you
a
want
single.
Mel, you want Mel and Victoria to wrestle in a pool of oil. That's what you want. You animal.
Fucking weird.
You savage.
Come
It
on,
sounds
guys.
He's like, that's
dangerous.
my
I don't
single.
know.
I
don't know.
Don't forget. He talked about a match with me and Peter. So
Or why don't we have Mel and Victoria and Claudio Capri in a match in an oil and see who comes out on top? There you
Yeah.
go.
Nutella.
I feel the girls will just. I feel the girls will just stay out and just like light it on fire.
Fucking.
Hey, the girls, I'm sure they're a lot tougher than they look, so don't worry.
I know
I'm sure.
exactly. You know, but honestly, no joke. And I want to keep coming back to this. I want to see Guido Grasso fight. Because the most funniest thing, I saw him in nightclub who was fighting Massimo. I'm like, Guido, your back is going to go. And I see Guido was like, oh, my back. I'm like, I want to see him wrestle just because.
You know what?
Well,
You know what? Here's
Guido Grasso is going to be expensive. I remember you asked him to be on the show.
Oh,
and he said,
yeah.
yes, I know. I don't think I
Al.
have $1,000 to give to Guido Grasso to appear 5 minutes in my event.
yeah, I
so
heard you was scoped up that night though.
Yeah. Kyle knows the whole story about
Kyle
this.
knows those stories.
Oh my God! It was,
you know what, Frank? You know what, Frank? Too. It's funny that you said like the kid. When you're a kid, you watch wrestling. It was like different.
Yeah.
And then, like, I remember back then, I was like, "Yo, Shawn Michaels, he's still cool. He's still a
He was
good
your hero.
ring
He was your hero. Like you, like.
He's-
you
I was like,
you were
yo, Shawn Michaels.
excited.
I was like, yo, Shawn Michaels, a cool guy. Look at it. He comes out. He's dressed. He's got armor and shit. I didn't realize he was a male stripper. He was just a male stripper.
He was in, I do believe he was in play. Was it not Playboy? Playgirl. He
Playgirl,
posed
yeah, he was on
Playgirl.
Playgirl, yeah.
He posed, and Triple H always busts his balls about that. He's like, "Oh, at least I didn't pose for Playgirl," you know. And then it's like a little rib, you know. But imagine, but you know what? At that time, I'm sure any money is good money. So if it gets me attention and it puts money in my pocket for me and my family, hey, why not? You know. But I'm sure they're not doing that now. But a lot of girls back then, like Sable and that, they went for Playboy.
Playboy,
Yeah.
Nudes and stuff like that.
oh yeah. By the way, yeah. No, nudes are great. Everybody loves nudes. Gabe.
Well, yes, Claudio.
And that's why you're
So
single.
just like moving on.
No, hold on. Before we continue, Gabe, you said something great. I'm gonna forgive you for what besides saying Sebastian is a great podcaster, you can go fuck himself. But look, Gabe said Massimo is Fat Tony from The Simpsons, and Guido is the high-pitched mob guy. You know what, Gabe?
It's true. Hey, that's a good analogy, that man. Gabe, man.
Okay,
That's a
point.
good analogy.
Yeah. Actually,
that's
that's Sebastian Borgo in that profile, right? So we should thank
Yeah,
Sebastian
exactly.
Borgo for
Thank
there
you,
you go.
Sebastian.
Yeah, thanks, Sebastian.
Frank, I know where you live. Huh? Just
where-
pointing it out.
It's okay. My door's always unlocked. If you want to come in, it's up to you. It's up to you.
It's up to you.
Frank, be careful. He might. Be careful. He might oil you. Frank, be careful. He might oil you up, man. He might put the oil on. Just be
I'll come
careful.
with Bastone Santa Maria.
So what I was trying to go with the story with if you guys ever been to an event, I think it was last year. Me and Bruno and A-Trax, we went to an event at the Bell Center, and my brother now he works for the Bell Center. He's a sous chef in one of the restaurants now.
Yeah.
So basically, like right away, I'm like, okay, you have to give me tickets to the wrestling. He goes, no, I can't get you tickets. I can't do that. But he goes, if you come, we went. That was the Monday Night Raw. But the SmackDown, he said, because less people go, he said that he could get us seat filler seats. So basically, we don't pay, but we're always put in different spots for the TV, so it looks full, right?
Like extras.
Like not like extras, but basically like
Exactly.
when you're watching Monday Night Raw, and where the camera is, every time where the camera is, they want people to be sitting every time in those seats. They don't want a patch of like 4 or 5 chairs empty, right? So they'll tell like at that time the second event that's what happened was me and A to the Tracks, and we went and they're like, okay, we moved twice, which was not bad. A lot of people were moving a lot of times, and I go, fuck, I hope we don't move because we're in good seats. We're on the floor. Then we went to the side, so I'm like, okay. But to get to the long story short, my brother works at the Bell Center, and coincidentally, it was one of the matches that for me it was like, okay, let me go. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna go for a pichat. So I go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. I come back, and I look at my phone, and I look at my phone, and my brother's like, Did you like that last match? I'm like, what the fuck's he talking about? Last match? So I texted him. He didn't text me back. At the end of the night, I go, but what are you talking about? He goes, you didn't see me. I go, what are you talking about? He got asked. There was a wrestler called No Way Jose that came out with a Congo line of people every time he came out. And they asked my brother to be in this Congo line. So my brother appeared on Monday Night Raw, took my dream right away from me. I go, you piece of shit. But you know what? I was happy for him, man. It was that because he's just as big as a wrestling fan as me. So I'm like, wow. I go, that's amazing, man. So that's my story.
So
yeah.
cool.
So yeah. So he always lives that up. He goes, at least I was on Monday Night Raw, not you. So I'm like, you piece of shit.
By the way, next year when they come back.
Definitely. I'll let you guys know. You guys come. We always have fun, man.
Oh man, we need to be those seat fillers. And
you know what? Like I said, my brother's like, if there's a way to get you guys in for free, he will. But like, he's not. They basically what happens even in concerts over there, they give him tickets day of. So like let's say like it's not sold out. There's 50 tickets left. They'll go in the kitchen and you'll go, who wants tickets? I have 50 tickets. Okay, here, take 5. Da da da. So then he calls people like, you want to go to this concert, like a random concert, but day of. So sometimes my mom would go or a cousin, this and that, or maybe sometimes nobody would go. But for the wrestling, it happened that the seat fillers was for SmackDown, and he got offered the tickets, and he's like, okay, if you guys are going to be, Bruno didn't come that time. It was just me and Trax. So we ended up getting in for free, and we got moved around. It was twice we got moved around, and that's it. It was a great event. So and in the end, it's not that like the house show. It was a SmackDown. It was the tickets we got was, I think it was $79 we paid for Monday Night Raw, which was not bad. Nice. And we were right in the middle too. Like we were on the opposite side of where you would be on TV. But that's one thing I would love to do is be on TV one time and just with a sign and hey, there he is, there's Bruno, there's Trax, but it's never happened. But we'll see.
I want to bring a sign when we go to these wrestlings and say eat shit
Sebastian Borgo
or BS and then I want to keep it up high and then I want to put one of my ex-girlfriends, I want to put them on there. Okay?
My God, what did she do to you?
Cheated on me.
He has a lot of
I'm like, here, I mean, I know.
Intelligence level.
I have a question for you, okay? Because people were saying this. So when you see wrestling, right? When the wrestlers would enter, right, do their entrance.
Yep.
A lot of people were saying apparently Montreal didn't have the rights to the fireworks and the explosions for the entrance. Or is that
at one point? I think they were hemorrhaging. I just want to understand. Sometimes they say like, "Oh, we're hemorrhaging money." You're worth $1 billion. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, so to the point where it's like, okay, now we can't have fireworks for 6 months. So like a guy like Brock Lesnar, like remember Batista when he used to come out, he used to do the with the fireworks. Yeah. So now Batista comes out and he does that same thing without the fireworks. It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. He looks like an idiot. He's just like, what are you doing there? But with the fireworks, it's a whole like spectacle, But what I heard is that they stopped it because they wanted to cut costs and everything. And a couple of months ago with the COVID, they cut about 40, 50 guys. All out of jobs, just like that. Like, so it's crazy, man. Well, so then at that time, they cut all kinds of wrestlers. Then there was no more fireworks and no more house shows. So they're not making that residual money on T-shirt sales and stuff like that. And it's sad, man. Like, they're sad. But I'm worrying about a guy that makes $3 million a year. Like,
listen,
I got other things to worry about than somebody, not making $3 million a year. I'm sorry,
No, listen, listen, because whenever if ever I would make a wrestling movie. And I have to walk down the entry, the aisle. I wonder, like Michael Bay explosions, man. Because for me, when I go watch
your
this
obsession
wrestling,
with this guy.
Listen.
Is that your definition of upgrade?
Yeah, when I go see these wrestling matches, okay, especially,
he was ready to say all this.
These tickets, okay.
I wasn't ready, Mel. I wasn't ready.
No, I wasn't ready either.
I don't think you were ready for that.
My nails like throughout the entire podcast.
Listen. If you're paying money to go see the wrestling show, I want to pay money to see explosions happening in the air. Okay,
Now,
that's
you know
my
what? This is
opinion.
what it is.
Nobody's
Look,
taking you seriously, Claudio.
this is what it comes down to. Those like a Monday Night Raw and a SmackDown is one thing, but if you're gonna go see it's called a house show that's not on TV, you're getting no fireworks. You know you're getting no fireworks. You know who's winning the matches. It's always the good guys, or it's a bad guy by disqualification, so the good guy looks good. House shows like that are just for the entertainment factor, just to do a show. It's not like Monday Night Raw where you do have, like, I think now they have more fireworks now, SmackDown as well. AEW always does it as well, but back then, like for the house shows, you'll never see a firework ever. That's it.
All right.
Maybe that answers your question.
Yeah, for Jofo Jam 2, we're gonna add fireworks.
Oh, trust me, man. We were supposed to have Jofo Jam this year, but because of the COVID, it didn't happen. But so it gives us extra time to plan out. And like I said, we have a lot of surprises for Jofo Jam 2 next year. You guys you guys will be a part of it for sure, 100%. And like I said, and it's gonna be great, man. I honestly, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Wait, here, okay,
guys, but I'm not sure about you and fireworks.
Hey,
That's why
We'll have professionals take care of that. Don't worry.
exactly. Deeks is gonna take care of that for Peter, all right? Oh,
okay.
man.
Here's the thing. Okay, since obviously we're all here, it's that time of the year, and we're talking about wrestling. I want to know who would win a wrestling match between Donald Trump, Biden, with Ben Saunders as the referee, special guest referee.
Oh, good God.
Well, we all know who's going to win that. He's already been in the WWE ring before. Donald J. Trump all the way, man. Donald J. Trump.
Sounds like Vince Russo fucking booking.
I like that. You remember when Donald Trump was there? It was all, what the hell's going on? And it was like, if you lose, you're going to shave your head, and if I lose, I'm going to shave it. Like, did you actually think Donald Trump was going to shave his head at WrestleMania?
Oh, man,
I'm like, my God, Vince McMahon is taking a bullet for the WWE. That's how much of a, like, you got to think Vince McMahon, he's doing this for us as fans.
Yeah.
He's shaving his head on national TV, on pay-per-view, WrestleMania, millions of people watching, losing to Donald Trump. But in the end, I know they're very good friends in real life, so.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But
remember when he dropped like,
and he took a stunner,
He took a stunner.
Yeah,
the first president. The first president to take a stunner.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, Stone Cold stunning the president of the United States. Imagine, unbelievable. What do you think, man?
Oh my God.
And he kissed his daughter too.
There you go. That's for another day. That's for another episode.
Oh, he kissed his daughter. I think he did a lot more, but you know. We could.
Yeah, no, exactly. Oh man! All right, guys. So this is the conclusion. This is our plugins, Jofo in the ring. You guys want to plug your stuff? Where can people find you?
Yeah, for sure, man.
How can they find you?
Well, look, on every social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Jofo in the ring. It's the same on all three. Everyone knows we just opened up our YouTube page, Jofo in the ring as well. We got all our episodes from back in the day, all our good idea, bad ideas, all our spoilers that Kyle was in, our top fives, Owen Hart, and just all wrestling content all the time. And it's just not stuff that we do, but stuff that happens in AEW and WCW and WWE from back in the day and now as well. So we keep the older crowd involved as well, but we still like to get the newer crowd involved too as well. So everything on Jofo in the ring, and that's it. Then you could, like I said, Frank Jofo on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well.
Nice. Yeah. That's cool. And for us, this Tuesday night we're going to be doing, we're covering the elections live at 7:30. It's going to be an amazing comedy show. Donald Trump versus fucking Joe Biden. Here we go.
Mel, you're coming.
Nobody wins.
Victoria, you're
They're
coming.
both stupid. Nobody wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody wins. They're both stupid.
I know exactly.
Honestly, covering is a big word. It's just us making big jokes and telling the results at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And guys, I would like to thank for you guys for having me on the show. It's been great, man. Thank you very much
for coming on.
Thanks for coming on.
Anytime you guys want me on, I'm there. I'm there for you guys, 100%.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
Pleasure.
100%.
Definitely.
Always the 35.
Yeah. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, and also if you want to watch our previous episodes, just click the link on a Dirty Four. Subscribe if you didn't. Thank you to everyone on both YouTube and the Facebook. What?
Oh, wait.
Also
Mel's
have,
got.
Yeah.
Mel.
So I got my podcast tomorrow night at
there
7,
you go.
also on Instagram, called the Virtual Dine-In Podcast. So hope to see you guys there, and have a dinner date when you can.
Yeah, that's right, everybody. So just tune
Now you're
in.
rushing me. I hate you.
I hate you too. I hate everybody. All right, so everybody.
Plug your show. Plug your show, Victoria.
Tomorrow night, I'm gonna be on the Coffee Talk with Vance at 7. So you get to pick between me and Melanie.
Ooh, it's like Monday Night Raw and WCW, Peter. Fuck, we're gonna have to choose.
Virtually.
Man.
The Monday Night Wars.
Monday Night
Joey,
Wars. And of course, you can't forget the boys at Jofo podcast every Monday night.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night,
Monday
another
night,
big episode tomorrow night. So
That's every Wednesday night.
yeah.
And
Joey.
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 I don't have much to plug. It's Lost Tabernacles, but when we have 5 episodes recorded, we're going to launch it to the web.
Nice. All right, everybody. So this catch us here every Sunday night, 8:30 live on the YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and pretty soon Podbean. Everybody in the chats, thank you very much. And subscribe to our YouTube page. Just go, hurry up. And see you next Sunday. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Later.
Bye.
There we go.